Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today it's 3 minutes past 3 in the afternoon in the United Kingdom. It is the 8th of December 2021, and we're back in X-Men 11, back in the excellent ZIBO MOD 737. We're going to be attempting today to be flying at the back end of a big storm that's been over the UK and Ireland, Storm Barra, the past couple of days as well. I say, on the planning side of things, I was hoping to be a little bit windier. I'd never say that in reality, but for this stream, certainly. The winds are actually a little bit calmer now in Birmingham 250 at 11, but we do have a forecast of gusting up to 28 knots later. Shannon a little bit windier, 17 knot crosswind at the moment, potentially going up to 40 or even 27 or 40 knots later. Ideally, I would have done this yesterday, but unfortunately, I just couldn't have done it. But hopefully, we'll have some nice crosswind and a bit of gnarly weather still for you today. Here we are in Birmingham. This is the excellent TDG scenery on top of Orbex True Earth, looking really nicely. I've got some freeware Shannon scenery as well. I don't actually have any Ortho installed for Ireland today because by the time we get there, it'll be getting dark. We're also going to be doing two sectors. We'll be going back to Birmingham later. Both flights about an hour or so. So if you're thinking of perhaps joining on this one quickly, you still have time to join on the return sector later. So stream will be about 3.5 hours long. It's been a while since we've actually done a live stream. I think over a week at least. Certainly a long time since we streamed the ZIBO mod publicly. I think about 3 weeks ago was the last time we jumped online. But I've been very, very busy with work. Been flying all last weekend and in 4 days. Lots of good news for the channel. I've got my brand new PC on its way. It should be getting here either tomorrow or the next day, so really looking forward to getting that set up. Improved performance for you. I mean, I'm not having any performance issues today as well. What else we've got to say? Oh, let me know what you think. What did you think of my Thrustmaster Boeing TCA yoke video as well? It's the first ever time I've done a product review, but I had great fun using that. I'm actually not using the control column today because it's a lot to set up and get ready, and I still need to get comfortable using it while streaming, but I've got myself a webcam or a yoke cam which I could potentially use in the future, so you can watch me use it, and I'm going to be making some more content with that yoke in the future, showing you some handling techniques you can use in your desktop simulator as well. Excellent. Who do we have here in the chat then? We have Aviationpedia. Thrustmaster was great, thank you very much. It is an awesome bit of kit. Roof Chun, sometimes I do feel bad for them. They have to wait entire days because their bosses don't know how to file customs papers. I think I've jumped into someone's conversation there with someone. Thanks for joining in, Roof Chun, anyway. Hello, Harry. Was ZIBO mod broken? I have no idea what happened. None of the cockpit buttons are interactable. Could be anything there. Good luck with that. Try to get it fixed. Andy, Birmingham, best regional airport in the world. Yes, Birmingham International Airport. I have flown in and out of this airport in the past, so reasonably familiar with how it operates as well. But yeah, they've got some big airlines that operate into and out of here. Hello, Haggard90, Air Ataman, Ramba, Lizard Doggo, John Padfield, Tim Waters, hope you're doing well, buddy. Ben Matthews, Jorge345, who else have we got here? Alwanda Mooncube, hello to you. Edo's here, hope you're doing well, buddy. And Dillode YouTube too. Perfect. So, excellent. We'll use my expert spawning techniques to get ourselves into the cockpit. There we are, into the air bridge, and through the closed door. Yes, I've done that before, haven't I? What a pro. I've actually turned off Vulkan for this stream. We're back to OpenGL in X-Plane 11. First thing I noticed, there's not much difference in FPS, and secondly, I can hopefully enjoy, if there's a bit of rain today, those beautiful ski rain effects. So I might be actually sticking with OpenGL now. I don't know. Always thought Vulkan had a big FPS increase, but with ZIBO here, Orbex True Earth right now, I'm getting 32 FPS. It'll be hopefully much more with my new PC, so we'll have to see. Right, so let's get the show on the road. Completely cold and dark here. Battery on. GPU's on the bus. Electric hydraulic pumps are on. Landing gear lever is down. We have 6 green lights, and then we check all the aircraft's documentation. Working our way down here. Let's check the squibs. And then the fault fire test. Fault APU detector in op. We've got master caution overheat detector, and then we'll do the fire test. 3 fire warning lights. We've got AC power, so the wheel well lights on. 2 engine overheat lights, the fire bell, the fire warning lights, and overheat detector as well. Excellent. Emergency exit lights armed. So let's have a little chat about weather. So when we have widespread disruption from storms like we're getting right now, Storm Barra, first the company sent you an email reminding you, in these conditions, plan conservatively, aka, take as much fuel as you need for these situations to allow yourself to safely operate. Reminding you, gives you links to all the regular or where all the operation operational rules are regarding operating these conditions. Lots to remember. It's not just about flying aircraft, it's all things like ground operations. You know, when can we have the steps attached to the aircraft, when can we not have the steps attached. All this you've got to realise and understand and know what to do. Now, for this particular flight plan, what I've done, I've actually generated 4 alternates. So this is exactly how our flight plan would appear in reality. We have our fin res fuel, which we must protect at all costs, about a ton. That's 30 minutes of fuel remaining. From Shannon, our alternates are Dublin, this is, I think it's Cork, Knock and Manchester. So what we usually do is, if all 4 alternates is looking pretty ropey, you know, I mean winds in excess of 33 knots across, or thunderstorm CB, you'd actually have a look at somewhere, you know, you always want to have a get out of jail free card essentially. Where can you go where you know you'll be able to land? So out of all 4 of these, you know, the wind's a lot less than was forecast, but Manchester, we take fuel for the furthest alternate on the flight plan. So Manchester's obviously quite far away from Shannon. You've got to cross the Irish Sea to get back here, and you can see, look, we need a whopping 2243 kilos, 56-minute flight time to get there, plus the 980. So your reserves in this case would be 3.3 tons. So we're actually going to use that as our reserves and fuel accordingly. So what you do, the flight plan will include the fuel to get to your first alternate. You take the difference between the fuel to get to Manchester, 2243, from Dublin, 1568, so that's about an extra 700 or 800 kilos to get to Manchester. So we'll add 800 kilos to our block time. So that's going to be let's call it 6.2. And that's enough fuel to get us to Manchester with our final reserves. And on top of that, we're going to take 1 hour's worth of extra fuel. And that's enough for 2 approaches easily. And then we can sit on our hands and decide where we're going to go. So we're going to call that 6.2 plus 2.4. It's going to be 627282, 8.6 tons of fuel. I hope you're still with me with regards to that. That's probably what I'd be taking today with the forecast conditions. Well, having said that, the weather's a lot better now. Based on the forecast conditions this morning, that's exactly how much fuel I'd want to be taking on this sector. 1 hour to mess around with, and enough fuel to get to Manchester if we have to. If we were to divert, we'd still try and divert to our commercial alternate if the weather had improved, but we've got enough fuel to get to Manchester where the wind's a lot more favourable, and also down the runway. So fuel is ordered. We've got 145 passengers for our first sector, so there we are. They are being loaded as we speak. Elliot Smith, how am I the latest member? At the moment it doesn't say you are a member, Elliot Smith. You're not green. Hello Liam Barwick, hope you're doing well. Aviationpedia, I have a MacBook. Excellent. You can run sims off that, but I know it's a bit of a pain to do so. I hope you're doing well, Moen. And John Padfield, you've been playing Kerbal Space Program today. Jebediah is still alive. I was actually playing a little bit of that recently. I keep getting into it, and then I keep getting really frustrated that I can't do things, and then I leave it there. Anthony, unbelievable. No comment. Right, onto the overhead panel. We'll leave the seatbelt sign off until refuel is complete. Push attend. Verify the flaps up, and also the indicator position matches up as well. Stab tube cutout switches are in normal. Cargo fire test is coming up. There we are, all looking good. Turn up the panel lighting. Live weather and live time for today's streams. It'll be a night flight back to Birmingham once we've landed in Shannon. Circuit breakers are all in. Onto the overhead panel here. Stall warning test 1 and 2. Flight recorders tested. Mach airspeed warning test is completed. IRS to nav. Heading STS, 9 minutes for the alignment. Check my circuit breakers here. They are all in. Safety equipment, tech log, PPE, crash axe is installed, etc. Now we can now start the boarding. There we are. Rambo, my Jebediah is lost on the moon. I think my current Jebediah on my sandbox version is lost in space as well. Maybe I'll try and rescue him one day. Nigel, have you ever played Counter-Strike? Oh, years and years ago I had to go, but not recently, not at all. Hello Lauren. Yes, answer your question. How do you select 4 alternates? Yes, it's in SimBrief. You can select the 4 alternate option and then just select the airports you want there. Perfect. So now we've started the boarding. Let's grab some weather. We do actually have some ATC online. Let's see if we get the ATIST on voice first. There we go. Let's grab the weather.
Temperature +7, dew point +1, QNH 989 hectopascal.
There's some aircraft here.
Acknowledge receipt of information Charlie. And advise aircraft type on first contact.
That is loud.
Birmingham information Charlie. Time 1450 Zulu. Runway in use 33. Surface. Wind 250. 11. Gusting to 3 knots. Varying between 220 and 290 degrees.
Just picking up a
Visibility
bit.
10 kilometers or more. Broken 3,400 feet. Broken 4,100 feet. Temperature +7. Dew point +1. QNH 989 hectopascal. Acknowledge receipt of information Charlie.
What is a hectopascal?
Upon first contact.
I've heard of hectopascal, but not hectopascal. That's brilliant. Excellent. So we've got the weather. It's picked up a little bit. So surface wind 250.
Deck fuel is all loaded up, and you are good to go.
Thanks, Brian. 250 at 11 knots, gusting 23. So that's an 11 knot crosswind with the steady wind and about 22 knot crosswind with the gust. So yeah, it's picking up a little bit there. Could be quite interesting on this takeoff with the crosswind there. There we go. 7 degrees and 989 hectopascal. Brilliant. So 989 set. Didn't get a chance, guys, to take a screenshot of the Boeing OPT app, I'm afraid. So I know you guys like to see the performance there, so you have to trust me on that one. It'll be full 24K today with the intersection we've planned. Yeah, I just completely forgot about it and didn't get around to taking the screenshot, so sorry about that. Someone said about Matt Lowe. Yeah, I've watched Matt Lowe in Rift. I've actually watched some of his videos in the past. Some of the stuff he creates is amazing in Kerbal Space Program. Hello, Bartos Buyak. Hope you're doing well. Sebastian Slater. We'll try OpenGL now, but I think it will destroy my PC. I've not had any issues since switching back with all the Orbex True F scenery. This is pretty intensive for it. One thing I have disabled for now until I get my new PC.
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
Is enhanced skyscapes. I love it. It looks amazing, but it wasn't so much having an FPS issue. It was just making windows grind to a halt. It meant that trying to do stuff in the background, which you do a lot of while streaming, so manipulating volume controls, even Xpon at push to talk was lagging. So I've actually gone back to Active Sky's default cloud texture. I've used them for years and years and years. They're fine, but it just gives me the performance I need to smoothly stream. Captain Paul D, thank you very much. You continue to support as a member as well. I don't know if you've rejoined or it's just your renewal coming in. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you indeed. Lauren, don't do that again. George's FS videos. You know there are so many settings in the ZIBO tablet. Are there any essential to change? I have most of mine configured as per my operators. Maybe I could do a video on that because I had loads of people ask me that in the emails and questions and stuff. I just end up usually sending a config file. But I'll you know, I don't have the time to go through each individual setting today. Maybe on a longer flight I will, but there's lots of different things you could configure and change there. Enrico, hello. Do we have to prepare for a hard landing in Shannon? We'll see. We'll have a chat about X-Plane 11 and the ZIBO mod, because it's my preferred sim, and the ZIBO mod is my preferred aircraft. There are some limitations in the simulator when it comes to handling, how the aircraft handles in these conditions. We did a stream over a couple of years ago now in the FlyJSim 737-200. Same in the ZIBO mod I found preparing for this stream. There's a lack of aileron authority when you're decrabbing. So when you decrab during the flare, you apply downwind rudder and then you put aileron into wind. The aileron seems to lose a lot of effectiveness at that speed or during that manoeuvre, so the wing dips quite a lot. So actually, to make it work in the sim, I'm actually having to limit the amount of rudder I'm using. You know, sims are amazing. X-Plane is amazing with its blade element theory, but there are some limitations with how aircraft behave in these challenging conditions when you're making particular inputs on the peripherals or your controls, which we'll see what happens later. And there's an exasperated ground effect in X-Plane 11, so when you decrab, you know, where I decrab in real life, in the ZIBO mod in X-Plane 11, I'm having to decrab a lot later, because the aircraft just floats and floats and floats in X-Plane quite a bit. Not as much as Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it's still, you know, I've just flown the last 4 days, and not Storm Barra, but the previous Storm whatever it was beginning with A. One of the most challenging conditions I've flown in since I became a captain, and you know, I decrabbed. It was a really good landing for the conditions. I was pretty pleased with myself. When I replicate that in the sim, I do the same inputs, but the aircraft goes a bit all over the place. So we'll have a look at that later, see what happens. I'll debrief you fully whilst I'm on the grass or struck the pod on the runway. Anyway, less chit chat. Let's more setup. I know you guys like to hear all these tidbits. So there's the ident information. I've got the latest Navigraph database installed. We've got U14 software update as well, updated in the ZIBO mod. We are in Birmingham, which is Echo Golf Bravo Bravo, and we're going to select GPS left coordinates, routing to Shannon, which is Echo India November
40,
November,
30,
and our call sign today is
20,
Alpaca
10.
to Sierra Bravo. Jonathan Wiltshire, thank you very much for the fiver, buddy. Appreciate it, buddy.
Top marks for the exasperated ground, smiley face.
Top marks for the exasperated ground. What's that for, Jonathan? Is that the 8ish you're referring to? I can't remember. Thank you very much for your fiver. That's very kind of you, sir. And thank you for your continued support as a member as well. Top marks for the exasperated ground. Oh, okay. I'll try and remember what that was. Hello, Dan and Sarah from Eastbits. Hope you're doing well. Sharkus Racing, good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well too, buddy. X-Plane handles the weather pretty well, I discovered yesterday. It's a beauty of a sim. Yeah, actually, Active Sky is fantastic. You really need to get it. The default X-Plane weather with the gusts and the variable winds is a bit pants, but Active Sky does a really good job at dampening the wind variation and gusts, making it handle really quite realistically. It's just how the aircraft handles. You've got to sort of tweak it slightly in the sim. But it's pretty close. It's just a bit of difference with how it is in real life. Right, fuel we've done. Routing information. Let's pop that in here. So runway 15. So on the flight plan, it's 15 now. Runway 33 in use. This often happens in real life as well. You often just when you're not sure what runway is in use. Well, you know what runway is in use. If you're not sure what SID's in use, you just grab your clearance. But for runway 33, the Lovum 1 Lima just becomes Lovum 1 Mike. So that's now selected. It's then direct to Nanty, and from Nanty it's Yankee 53 to Wallasey. It's going to take us towards Liverpool, and then from Wallasey, Lima 10 to Pennell, crossing the Irish Sea, Pennell direct to Peleg. This is our first ever time streaming, landing in Shannon as well on a live stream. Never been there before, which is pretty cool. Then we're going to Diggin. From Diggin, it's a Diggin to Delta. Diggin to Delta, ILS 24. Won't be selecting any transitions, so we'll activate that. There's no discontinuity. It's just going to change Dirac to 3,000 feet or above. I imagine that's been checked by the first officer, and that's executed. Zero fuel weight then, 55.7. Remember we discussed our reserves. It's going to be the sum of this plus this now, not Dublin. We're taking Manchester, fuel for the furthest alternate, which is what we do in these conditions. 2344 plus, let's call it a ton, so that's 3243. 3.3 is our new reserves, plus an hour of fuel on top of that. Cost index is 30 at Alpaca Airways. We've got flight level 380 for the cruise. Executed. Top of climb wind today. It shouldn't be as strong as it was yesterday, but it's died down quite a bit. So that's fine. 380. Top of climb 380. There we are. 324 at 30. So it's actually a lot stronger at lower levels. I think it's like 100 knots at 30,000 feet, but a lot less at higher altitude today. ISA deviation for top of climb is plus 8 degrees. There we are, 6001 in the FMC. The reason I put that, because I want 6,000 feet to display on the legs page of the FMC instead of 60. Full 22k, 7 degrees. Sorry, 24k, 93.8. Takeoff, flat 5, CG is set, 5.75 units. Trim wheel audio is now selected on, so it's a lot better than it used to be in the past. And V speeds are set. Oh no, is it? No, it's not raining here, is it? No, it's dry speeds. 136, 137, 146. There we are, so FMC's loaded and all ready to go. Onto the overhead panel. Yaw dampers on, nav transfer, display switches, normal auto, fuel, 4 pumps. We might have a smidge in the centre tank. 690, so we'd leave the centre tank pumps off to avoid any nuisance master cautions during the takeoff run. We turn them on at 10,000 feet. Electrical panels all configured correctly. Seatbelt signs on now. That's all looking good. Window heat can select on. That's all good. Voice recorder on, trim air on, packs auto. 380, 50 feet is the elevation in Shannon, 46 feet, so that's fine. Onto the MCP, flight director's on, master's my side as I'm PF. For the runway direction, runway 33, it's 326. That is set, 326. And 326. Expecting 6,000 feet, we'll set 6,100. Remind us we don't have our departure clearance. Auto brake to RTO, reset. Let's cage this. Wait, why have I got lots of hmms? You missed out Bagso. Uh-oh. Blame Jim, he's the one that's meant to check the route. Let's have a look. Thanks, guys.
50, 40,
Oops.
30, 20,
Let's hope
10.
the mod doesn't mind me doing this. Mike 144, Bagso.
Learned a lot from you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Deload YouTube, for your €2. Very kind. Perhaps not learn how to put the route in on this particular stream. That's outrageous. All I did was look right and see an awful lot of emojis in chat, which is usually the sign I've screwed something up. Mike 144 Bagso. Oh dear. But that's why, guys, that's why there's 2 of us and we check the routing prior to going anywhere. Let's see. Let's hope this doesn't go a bit berserk with the mods in panel. I put it in, but it still says direct. I don't like that. I don't like that. What have I done? Right, what I'm going to try and do is go on the legs page and modify it that way. So we got to... Jeez, this is embarrassing. Oh no, of course it's a million waypoints between all of these. Pennell, Wallasey, Pennell, Barber. Okay. I'm missing quite a lot of waypoints. Okay. I might have to do some fiddling here. Using Llama SOP. So you could just simply, on the route page, just punch in the airway like I did, but the mod doesn't like that. Let's just put them in manually. So Pennell, Barber. Oh my goodness me, so many waypoints. It's going to be that one there. Pennell, Barber. I just imagine it's the EINN basically. Kick toe. This is working at least. Unducks. Moral of the story is make sure you put the route in properly. Sopax. Sopax. Ramox. Oh my goodness me. Otgug. Of course there's the one airway what? Of course, let me just put this in first before I accidentally delete this. Insufficient fuel. 4,000 miles! Oh no! Can we just restart the stream? Gig toe. Okay, that's obviously the wrong gig toe. Welcome. Oh, it's the mod's really... Now what have I done? Unduck. Pennell to Barber. Babra. This is why there's other professional streamers available. Babra. Gig toe. Gig toe. Unducks. Sopax. Ramox. I hope my boss isn't watching this. Ogtug. Thanks for having subscribed. Welcome. Can't believe you're subscribed during this pandemonium exercise. Oh my goodness. Bagso, Pelig, Digan. Please be Digan afterwards. Yes! Just need to get this here though. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you a proper route in the FFC. Let's double check then. Gross distance, do a gross error check. Distance here 306, ground distance 317. I'm happy, that's good enough there. I'm not even going to look at chat. And good thing this isn't a check ride, brilliant. And this is what plausibility check is for, I presume. Unbelievable. Is it now quicker to reset the FFC and load a new flight plan in? Probably was, Jamlin. But it's in. That's all that matters. Let me just quickly step through it to make sure there's no discontinuities. But I think we're all good now. Ah, a lovely line all the way to Shannon. Jeepers. Right, let me just double check everything else. Performance I did, takeoff. Excellent. Right, overhead panels set. We got to the MCP, didn't we, guys? How long have we been streaming for? Too long. The best for now. Are you a real pilot? Nah. Oh dear. Back to the right seat for you. Yep. Unbelievable. Any more comments? Any more? Nitro Dog. Unbelievable. Sam, this makes me feel less bad about when I screw it up. Unbelievable. Finger triple today. Yes, unbelievable. Right, MCP. Runway heading 326. It's an RNAV SID. There's not much really to set up. What I will do is just put the frequencies for the ILS in case we have to come back here. That is 110.1. So 110.1. There we are. Navade, India Bravo Mike, IBM. That's correct. Reset. Order brakes to RTO. And config. Checks working. Excellent, we're where we should have been 5 minutes ago. Right, let me grab a clearance. We have ground online, which is good. There we go.
50, 40, 30.
Thank you very
20,
much,
10.
Otsikubashi. That's very kind of you to say. Jaden, no.
You're the best pilot streamer. Very humble.
Very humble. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Otsikubashi. That's very kind of you for your 179 rubles. I appreciate it. We all make mistakes. We're human. And that is why it's so important that there's two pilots in the flight deck. We're talking in the future about single pilot flight decks and the amount of automation available. But the reason we have two today is that we all are human. We all make mistakes, such as making one little bit of input error. Now, in one of the things what should happen, I should be able to modify the routing in the route page, but obviously that's bugged in here. It doesn't work at the moment, so it should have been done. Instead I had to type the routing in manually, which in hindsight was probably quicker just to reset the FMC, which you can't do in real life, but you can in the ZIBO mod. But there we go, we're back to where we should be, just running a bit late. Right, better pushback. Cheers, buddy. Let's pre-plan. There's only one way I can push, which is like that. There's my test sector earlier, so let's connect up. That sounds like Amy. Perfect. Yeah, that was what I was saying. Let's grab our clearance now on Birmingham ground. Birmingham ground, good afternoon. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo on stand 15. Information Charlie. QNH 9 at 89 hectopascals 738. Departure clearance to Shannon, please.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, Birmingham ground, good afternoon. Information Delta has literally just updated. QNH now 9 at 0 hectopascals. Cleared to Shannon on the Leuven 1 mic, departure squawk 4465.
We'll have a listen to Delta, new QNH 9 at 0 hectopascals. Shannon on the Leuven 1 mic, departure squawk 4465. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, correct.
Perfect. So we have the Leuven 1 mic, which is there, and 6,000 feet, which we're going to brief shortly, the departure, and squawking 4465 down in the box. So 4465. There we are. So everything's set up here in the aircraft. All we've got left to do is check our routing. So we've got taxi first, so stand 15, pushback facing west. We've got whiskey. Performance I've actually calculated from Charlie. Charlie intersection. It's quite common for aircraft in Birmingham to just go straight to Charlie. Otherwise we've got either a left turn on Delta or Echo. So go via Hold Point Echo or Sierra for runway 33. Departure, the Leuven 1 mic. It's straight ahead to BBN 30. BBN 30, 250 knots, 1500 to 6000, so 1500 feet above's fine. It's then to 32 to be above 5000, but below 6000, and Leuven 6000. So that's all set. Frequencies, it's an RNAV set, we've got just the ILS tuned, and distances. Checks 8 is 10.4 miles and 3, 10, 2.9, so happy with that. Do not climb above 6,000 feet until cleared by ATC. So that's it, Sid's all briefed. We'd best get Andy to do some checklists today. We're only running 5 minutes late behind schedule, so let me call up Andy, our virtual first officer. Jim will do the return sector as usual. I just gotta find him. He lives in one of my folders. Come on, Andy. Where are you? Oh, I can't find it. Here he is. Andy, can I have the safety inspection checklist, please? Oh, please use this one.
Safety inspection checklist. Surfaces and chocks.
That's checked. Let me just turn this down slightly so you can hear Andy clearly. Surfaces and chocks checked.
Maintenance status.
Checked.
Battery.
On.
Electric hydraulic pump.
On.
Landing gear lever.
Down.
Ship's library.
Checked.
Safety inspection checklist complete.
Thank you, Andy. Can I now have the before start checklist to the line?
Before start checklist to the line.
It's a bit louder now.
IRS mode selectors.
Nav.
Gear pins.
Removed.
Light test.
No, not done that, so light tests. Looking good here on the overhead panel. Welcome. On the MCP and on the pedestal here. So light test is checked. Next, Andy.
Oxygen.
Tested 100%. Well, imagine that's done. Is on.
Nav transfer and display switches.
Normal auto.
Fuel.
So let's have a look at our fuel here. So we require a minimum of 5,380. We have what's that? 7,885 on board, and just 4 pumps on for now.
Cabin util IFE galley power.
Is on.
Emergency exit lights.
Armed.
Fasten belts.
On.
Window heat.
On.
Air conditioning and pressurization.
We've got Pax Auto, bleeds on, and set for Shannon.
Pressurization mode selector.
Auto.
Instruments.
Cross-checked.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Hydraulics.
Let's double check that. So we've got above 2,800 psi and no IFR indication. So hydraulics are normal.
Speed brake.
Dowdy tent.
Parking brake.
Set.
Stab trim cutout switches.
Normal.
Wheel well fire warning.
Checked.
Radios, radar and transponder.
Set and standby.
Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Takeoff briefing.
Discussed.
PA.
Is complete.
FMC CDU.
Is not quite set. I need to have takeoff page. They are set.
N1 and IAS bugs.
So we've got the bugs on auto, 24k full, and it'll be slightly less than 93.1, 36, 37, 46 set.
Stab trim.
That is, oh, hold on, Andy. 5.75 units set. Just need to get the AP up and running. What was that, Andy? Were you saying performance, weight, and balance?
Performance, weight, and balance.
Yeah. Set.
Phones.
Off.
EFB.
Airplane mode stowed.
Flight deck windows and cockpit door.
So we're just waiting for the cockpit door to be closed.
Doors.
Closed.
Passengers.
They're not yet seated.
Before start checklist completed to the line.
Excellent, there we are. Why is the N1 0.6% wind? Are you talking about with regards to when the AP bleeds on? So you'll see, look, I've got 93.1. It should be 92.5 when I put the AP bleed on, because there's a duct pressure coming in. Sam Heaton, I didn't hear no PA. What are you on about? It's a beautiful PA. Looks clear as ever. I might do one on the way back, just to keep you happy.
Approaching minimum.
Flaps, welcome back as a member. Glad you're enjoying the content, and you'll get invited to our members only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom emojis chat as well. Thank you very much for your support. Patrick, how do you check the aileron trim? You basically move these both to the left and right, and just make sure that the aileron turns very slow. Well, I'll try and do it like very slowly like this, left and right, but not usually used in normal operation. Right, best request push and start. I think the APU is up and running. There we go. And let's contact ground.
You can hold there. Yeah, Echo 1's fine for us, so we shall hold position. Echo 1, Ryanair 784. Ryanair 784, thanks. Contact Birmingham Tower 118.3, got me. 118.3.
Tower's online as well. And ground Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, stand 15, request push and start.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, stand 15, push and start approved.
Push start approved, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Perfect. Runway 33 today, Lucy. Dan, we haven't left yet. I had a slight FMC issue. Tax off, leads on, anti-collision lights on, parking brake is set for now, transponder out of. And full start checklist. Below the line, please, Andy.
Before start checklist below the line. Air conditioning pack.
Off.
Anti-collision light.
On.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
Out of.
Before start checklist complete.
Just reminded me, new QNH now set 990, which I forgot to do. And we're good to go. Releasing parking brake. Axel, the FMC had a pilot issue, but he's weird about. Oh, did I actually do better pushback correctly? I've been lifted, haven't we? There we go. Let's just cycle that again. There we go. Thanks, Amy.
Continue all the way down.
Perfect. Bit lighting in here.
Well, down Delta, join Echo. Let's see, right now, Quebec Alpha. Right, 8 Quebec Alpha is giving way to the Alpaca 83.
So funny. Oh, we're not going to get Charlie. Look at the queue. So we got a Ryanair, 2 Ryanairs, 2 Alpacas. I did see an Aer Lingus, but I think he's well on his way now. There's another Alpaca pushing as well. Right, let's now start engine number 2. Yes, thanks again. Let's have a look at the weather in Shannon. See, Lucy Sharma's just grabbed that. It should be better than forecast. I actually wanted to be a little bit worse today because it's the whole idea of the stream. Ed 2. Hello, Joe Giviar. Hope you're doing well. Oil pressure. And N1 25%. Well, it's a little bit slow. Spar valve lights extinguished. Excellent. Why is not getting the weather for Shannon? That's a shame. Alright, I've got the config light on because I don't have the sensor tank pumps on. And we can now start engine number 1. 2, 4, 6, 3, 2, stable. Is it true that you have to turn off devices for an automatic landing? I got this on my last flight. That is correct, Daniel. There'll be a PA made to tell everyone to put their electronic devices off so it doesn't interfere with the equipment. Whether it's actually proven it does, no one knows, but when conducting automatic landing you obviously don't want any issues at all, so...
Operation is now complete. Disconnecting tail, please stand by.
Standing by, Abby. 2 tons, leaving the centre pumps off for takeoff? Yes. With this amount of fuel here, when fuel accelerate, a lot of fuel can move around in the centre tank, and then you just end up getting a master caution light. Below 80 knots, we'll reject the takeoff for that. So when we have less than, say, around a ton, we leave the centre tank pumps off until 10,000 feet. Thanks, David Hamilton. Shannon, 29016. So it's not as forecast, but a few CBs around. I've got the CB makes thunderstorms on in Expert 11, so that could be interesting. But yeah, that's a direct crosswind, I think, 290. Well, no, it's runway 24. Alright, that's a shame. Hopefully it'll be a bit stronger when we get there.
There is disconnected, bypass pin has been removed, and the pin will be on the left. Have a safe flight, see you after.
Bye, Amy. There we are, so generators are on the bus, APU we could turn off as well, and we just wait until we see the bypass pin. I never do PAs either, but I'm sat on my own, so that would be weird. It would be sad. I wouldn't expect you guys to do PAs. I do it for entertainment purposes, occasionally. Excellent. Bypass pin C, student 4 taxi flow. Generators on, APUs off, start switches, continuous, ProPeak on, don't need anti-ice, flight deck to sim, flight deck to sim mother's trying to call me, I'll have to call her back later, she's alright, she's the usual time, you call her this time, I'll message her shortly. What about RTO? That is all set. Blank the lower TU. Flaps to 5. Flight controls. Full forwards. Full back. Left and right. Here comes the rudders. Full right and full left. And recall. And we just need to do the before taxi checklist. Thank you very much, Sam. Safe flight, Captain. Javier, terrain weather on radar, please. Well, I'll put terrain on now, but we wouldn't want weather on at this stage. I'll put weather on prior to takeoff. Thank you very much, R-Range L, for your 200 rubles. That's very kind of you again.
Well, hello there. Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton?
This could be controversial. I've got a lot of Dutch members and subscribers. It's Lewis Hamilton, I'm afraid. Not my favourite British driver, but I like Max a lot as well, and I'm very grateful that it's been one of the best seasons in many, many years, but he's just... we'll talk about it later. It's a critical phase of flight now, and on that note, I'll alert, turn the alerts off here. What an epic race Saudi was. Absolute carnage. Absolutely loved it, though. Amazing. Penultimate race was this one this weekend is going to be epic. Cheers, Andy.
Before taxi checklist. Generators
on.
APU
off.
Start switches.
Continuous.
ProPeak
on.
Anti-ice
is off.
Air conditioning.
Packs or the bleeds on.
Isolation valve
is auto.
Flaps.
We've got 5 required, 5 selected green lights.
Stab trim.
That is 5.75 units required, 5.75 units set.
Start levers.
Idle detents.
Flight control.
Checked.
Recall.
Checked.
Full taxi checklist complete.
Look at the chat, I'm sorry. Listen, I like Max as a driver, just that Christian Horner and Red Bull have just done some things in the last couple of months. I've just been like, ugh, you know, is necessity to defend Max. I don't know. It was just some things I've seen. I don't know. It's a big debate for me. But Lewis, I like Mercedes. I like the team. Yes, I don't just choose because they win. I do like them. But yeah, more about that later. I'll request taxi now. What a debate we've started here. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, request taxi. We are able Charlie. Is anyone there?
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, thanks. Taxi to hold to Charlie 1 from a 3-3 via Charlie.
Taxi holding point, Charlie 1 for runway 33 via Charlie, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So airlines, you know, we always want to try and save time and fuel where possible. We'll always plan and if possible execute the shortest taxi and duration. We might have to wait a little bit, but we can do it. So there we are, parking brake release, turn off taxi, well no, we can't look out that window, but clear left and clear right, config, there we are, no takeoff config warning. And we are on our way to Shannon, guys. A sensitive subject. Absolutely, Kieran. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Haven't switched in a while. Hi, Jay still plays. Just joined. Hope you're doing well, too. 2022 will give a big shake-up there. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it will. Exile punched the desk. He destroyed his expensive Bose headset on Sunday. That's the first thing I thought. I've got that headset, they're expensive. Right, so let's do the before takeoff checklist for line.
Before takeoff checklist to the line. Config.
That is checked.
Flaps.
We've got 5 green light.
Stab trim.
5.75 units
Takeoff
sets.
briefing.
Thanks, Andy. Takeoff briefing, just make sure we are clear left and clear right. So we've got PAX auto bleeds on, V speeds are set for departure. 136, 137, 146 set. We're flying a Lufthansa 1 mic, which is going to be straight ahead. BB N30, then 32, stop altitude 6,000 feet. NADP2. Any problems will come back here. Crosswind's quite strong. We'll talk about the crosswind takeoff technique shortly. And that's it. And we'll make sure the cabin's... We'll imagine the cabin's secure, sorry.
Cabin.
Secure.
Before takeoff checklist completed to the line.
Birmingham Tower 118.3, have a good flight.
Tower 118.3, Alpaca to Sierra Bravo. Thank you so much to ATC, bye. Perfect. So, over to Tower. Here we are at the whole point. Bring the aircraft to a stop. There we go. And we'll check in with Tower. Tower, good afternoon. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, holding point Charlie, runway 33, ready for departure in sequence.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, Birmingham Tower, hello, hold Charlie 1.
Hold Charlie 1, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Perfect, so all ready to go. Cabin door should be closed, Martin. Yeah, it should be. There we are. All done by, who's our number one today? No, Jennifer. Dublin was diverting to Birmingham yesterday, long way that. Yeah, so Elsmith, in these sort of weather conditions associated with storms like Storm Barra, off-island diversions are not uncommon. I think there was an aircraft from, someone was saying in Discord that this morning...
Alpaca 6 Foxtrot, nothing on 30, I'm afraid. Monotune to come 122, that's when I have a great flight.
It might have been a Delta or something. They flew to trying to get to Manchester. Manchester, very strong crosswinds, ended up diverting to Amsterdam. So yeah, in these conditions, you've got to take the fuel like we have for Shannon. We've planned worst case scenario, as we do in these situations. We take fuel for the furthest alternate. So actually, Shannon, we try and divert to Dublin or Cork or Knock, but if we get an update on the weather and it's approaching operational limits, there's no point diverting somewhere where the weather is similar, if not worse. You want to be able to go somewhere where you can guarantee a landing. So we've actually planned to go to Manchester, and we've got an hour on top of that as well. I can assure you, all airlines plan extremely conservative, conservatively. Certainly on my operator, we are actively encouraged to plan conservatively. We literally got an email which essentially says, take as much fuel as you want, guys, in these conditions, you know, plan accordingly, because they're very challenging, very difficult to land in, and most of you here, I think, are familiar with the work pilots have to do on a day-to-day basis. It's not a difficult job as long as everything goes right, but in these conditions where everything is close to operational limits or on limits, you know, it is extremely challenging and tough. And as I mentioned last week, I landed in that other storm, and it was the hardest thing I've had to do as a captain so far in the last 3 years ago. I became a captain nearly, and I was adrenaline was pumping after I landed. It's hard work. So yeah.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, behind the departing company, Airbus A320 Neo, fires Charlie 1, line up and wait runway 33 behind.
Behind the departing company, Airbus A320 via Charlie 1, line up and wait behind runway 33, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Cool, so he's on his way. As soon as he's crossed us, we've been cleared to line up and wait. Exactly, Kieran, absolutely, yeah. That's exactly what the mentality behind that. So clear to line up and wait. Off he goes, fellow Alpaca, the Airbus fleet. We turn the taxi light off to remind us we've not been cleared for takeoff. Auto throttle, LNAV, weather, transponder, TARA. There we are. So before takeoff checklist, below the line, please, Andy, if I can find it. There we go.
Before takeoff checklist, below the line, MCP.
Set.
Transponder.
TARA.
Strobe lights.
Now on.
Landing lights.
To come. So we hold on landing lights until we got our takeoff clearance, even though it's the taxi light. I'm using the TCA yoke, not today, and I won't be using that until I get my camera set up. I've got a yoke cam to come, and I'm waiting for my new PC. My new PC should be arriving either tomorrow or on Friday, and I'm just so excited. I feel like Christmas has come already. I'm going to get it all set up. I'm going to do a little test stream in it as well.
Monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye-bye. String to Unicom 122 decimal 8, Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot, thanks for the ETC, bye.
We are.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. 500 you watching. That's a mega. If you're enjoying the video, guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Helps the channel a lot. Really appreciate it. Thank you. New PC hype. Oh, Lauren, it's mega. Which GPU will your new PC have, Avgeek? 3080. Japid, what are appropriate times to use terrain weather settings? You said weather is only to set right before takeoff. Why? So weather, we want to have weather radar on because it can then start scanning for any potential wind shear, and the terrain would be selected on by the first officer. He'd have that on display. James Bentley, great news, you're going to love it. I have a built new PC semi-recently, and like you said, it's like Christmas, I know. You're going to have your old PCs. How's you going to go? I'm going to keep it as backup just for the first couple of months or so. And actually, I'm giving it to a colleague of mine who's a very good friend of mine. I said I'd give him my old PC. I've put a new PC on Amazon. No, it's a Chill Blast PC. My current PC is Chill Blast, and it's been so good to me. I actually decided to a little bit of brand loyalty. So looking to
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, surface winds 250 degrees, 12 knots, runway 33, cleared takeoff.
Runway 33 cleared takeoff, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Right, let's finish the checklist.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
We'll just say before takeoff checklist complete. Right, anyway, let's start rolling. So not much of a crosswind. Remember, use rudder to maintain centre line. Aileron into wind. It's not too strong, but hopefully next time we'll have something strong there. Right, timing. Engines are stabilised. Push toga. Toga's in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Set takeoff thrust. For 93.1. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. So feeding in the rudder now to maintain sense line. Right rudder.
89.
Checked, release forward pressure.
V1.
Hand off the thrust lever, rotate. Use a little bit more runway than I'm comfortable with. Positive rate climb, gears coming up, and onto the flight directors. And trim. Absolutely superb. Now, this is why I wish I was using the TCA yoke, because I could then bug up like I'm doing now. So bugging up. Gently lower the nose onto the flight director.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, Unicom 122.8, verify seal.
Unicom 122.8, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Thank you so much, ATC. Enjoy your afternoon. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Perfect. So 122.8 and flaps up. This is live time, live weather in Birmingham right now. So now trimming. Onto the flight directors and trim. We're good. So flaps are up, no lights. There's command. Select VNAV, 8 degrees, engine anti-ice coming on. To do that prior to entering ice conditions. And we're climbing to an altitude, so we're just going to select vertical speed initially whilst we do the after takeoff checklist. Passing 4,000 for 6,000 feet. Gears off. Water brake off. Anti-ice is on. Air conditioning and pressurization 1.8. And that's all looking good. Air conditioning pressurization is set. And 1 to go. So 1,000 feet per minute. Passing 4,800, 6,000. There we are. I have to take off checklist complete. Used a lot of runway there. Yeah, a little bit more than I wanted. When I said I didn't use being OBT, I actually hadn't. I just got full 24k, hope for the best. But it probably would have been best doing 26k with assumed temperature. But that's why, again, we don't ever guess performance in reality as well. Fuel config, when would you turn centre pumps on? So the fact that we have fuel here, I mean, you could put them on now, but we wait until 10,000 feet. Right, there's no ATC, guys, so we're going to go straight up to our cruise level. 380. Make sure we select out into vent because the restrictions are in the FMC. VNAV, and we are going to now set standard. Big jump there, so when we have low QNH like that, always sort of anticipate that, especially if you have a low level off close to a transition level. You want to make sure you get the QNH set nice and early. So standard set, passing 6-7, flight level 380, and as I already said, after takeoff checklist is complete, almost on top of the cloud here. This is the view we want. Epic, guys. Superb. Black Cobra, how do you decide for or against an intersection takeoff? So if we're taxiing out and our taxi routing from our stand takes us to, and we plan for the hot end of the runway, so full length, if we pass any intersection, we'll plan for that. Some aren't used, but if we know it's used, we'll plan for that and put that in the OBT. 2 tons, yes, back, because I'm just getting too much lag with it. And to be fair, I mean, those clouds, for me, I think they're acceptable. I think they look absolutely fantastic, actually, in that view. Oh, I sound like another YouTuber. Question, sometimes when I'm doing an ILS approach, I'll capture the localized glide slope and be on profile, and then suddenly the plane just pitches a bit upwards and tries to fly over the airport. How close are you getting to the ground there, Jay Devitt? I mean, you want to be disconnecting when you're flying a Cat 1 ILS at about minimum usage height is 158 feet, but it should take you all the way down to the runway pretty accurately. It could be an issue with the aircraft you're using. That's mega. Yeah, I do like the enhanced skyscape clouds are better than this, but to be fair, they're just as epic. Anyway, look, I missed the pre-cruise checks as we're enjoying the view so much. So passing 113 flight level 380 pre-cruise check. So now the centre tank pumps come on. So we've got 6 pumps, wings are balanced, and we're now feeding from the centre tank. Won't take long incline for us to get that out, so we'll take the engine anti-ice off as well. So fuel, lights, APU's off, pressurisation 4.0, and let's warm it up slightly. That is all set. Seatbelts. Operator, we leave them on at the moment due to COVID restrictions. Recall. There we are. Checks complete. On our way. ETA into Shannon. 16:46. We should be touching down. So about 45 minutes or 46 minutes from now. Evan, why does the weather radar never show up on XP nav panel? I'm not sure what you're referring there to, Evan. It is on, but there's obviously no weather at the moment. But it does display if you have active sky. Hi Andy, I saw at the start there you're in your truck. I'm at collection number 3, another 15-minute wait. At least I get a bit of time to watch the stream. Thanks, buddy. 2 tons, you switch back as well since thunderstorms were not rendered accurately in enhanced skyscapes. Yeah, I think it still needs a bit of work from the dev. For me, it was just performance. The FPS was not the problem; it's just lag. My whole PC was lagging. I couldn't use anything in the background. Ranger Rick, how did you arrive at Alpaca Airways? Is it a long story? Not very long. I went walking with my my partner, and at the time, and we went to go take the with alpacas, and we were telling the guys on Discord, and someone just went, "Oh, that would be a great idea for a name for a virtual airline." We all found it quite funny, but then it just sort of stuck, and ever since the virtual airline is growing. Obviously, it's an unofficial virtual airline, but it's quite well recognised, certainly on VATSIM anyway. I think the majority of controllers would see VZP and go Alpaca. Hi Ben Stratford, just joined in time for tow. Yeah, awesome stuff, buddy. Tristan, have you had your coffee yet? No. Don't drink coffee. Do drink tea. Do drink tea. Rosny, I like the TCA yoke. It looked amazing, but I'm honestly not sold on the throttle because of the lack of detents and the fact that you need two of them to get a flap and speed brake lever. What do you think? Yes, so just the one quadrant, you have to choose either the flap or the speed brake lever. I went for speed brake lever because for me, just having 2 buttons to incrementally increase the flaps is fine, and there's no detents to also select flaps. So speed brake was the sort of better option. Yeah, I agree with you. The quadrant I don't think is as good as quality as the yoke itself. The yoke is a far better, it's much more solid. It needs to be to allow it to have the weight behind it, to have that accurate pitch and roll moment. But they're functional. They're completely usable. The slightest change, you get the move it there, and the thrust moves accordingly. I really liked it. I think I've not had or tried the Airbus version. I guess it's sort of a similar quality to that, but no, overall the whole package I was very pleased with. Gino, before we had Alpaca, when you were flying on VATSIM, what call sign did you use? I'm sure some people will answer that. There you go, broadsword. We had broadsword. We went broadsword. Bonus point here. Let's see if we've got any avid flight deck sim watchers. The first time I used VATSIM online, what airline did I go as? Absolutely, I'll be so impressed if any of you can remember that. What was the first airline I flew online? It wasn't Broadsword. Obviously, it wasn't Alpaca. It's a real airline. I'll be very impressed if anyone remembers it. Brandon Postma, Air Europa, Dave Hagan, excellent, well done guys. Air Europa, Philippe Camero, all these people guessing here. A little bit of a quiz. Wasn't Chow, wasn't Flyby.
50.
Wasn't Breeze Air, that's a brand new airline in America, isn't it?
20. 10.
Lizzie Windsor, Majesty has arrived, I haven't heard you for a while.
I am most delighted to once again grace the skies with Sir Flight Deck 2 Sim. Last time I flew I was kept company by a top government minister, who had all the personality of stale Rivita. I pretend to be asleep.
Welcome, Your Majesty. I hope you're doing well. We haven't heard from you in a while. You've had a turbulent last couple of years or so. Hope you're doing well, ma'am. And personality of a stale Rivita. Other stale, or I should say stale, other, what's the word I'm looking for? Other biscuits are available. Pretended to be asleep. Outrageous. Thank you very much, Lizzie. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for your fiver. With your face on it. Very kind, and look after yourself, thank you. Amazing. World Travel Airlines, Raybob95, thank you. Brandon Postma, Vigo to Madrid, even more bonus points for you. That was right, my first ever flight on VATSIM, well, streaming that was. I'd only been on VATSIM I think a couple of times before in preparation. We went Air Europa from Vigo to Madrid, and it was one of my first ever streams, I think. Certainly within the first 10 streams I'd ever done. Crazy. Now, that was over 3 years ago now. All these classic FSX airlines coming in. Look, Orbit Airlines, Travel Airlines, brilliant. Other cardboard-based stacks are available. Exile TSJ said, brilliant. Mason, why does everyone go on about JAL? Why do you not a real JAL domestic flight, the ZIBO? It's been rumoured that I might operate a JAL aircraft. But always 500 people watching the stream, I know. Amazing. And thank you all very much for spending your Wednesday afternoon with me. Right, anyway. Short sectors today. You can already see that there's top of climb and top of descent. About 60
40,
miles between the two. So
30,
in this situation,
20,
in reality, we'd
10.
actually set up this flight. Max Verstappen. Thanks for the pound. To trigger the audio, it's £2 minimum. Sorry, Max Verstappen. I'm sure you can spare a few more. I'm joking. I'm just joking. I've never ever asked somebody. £1. Thank you, Max. So Flight Deck to Sim. I hear you no longer wish to stream into Schiphol Airport. Max, I didn't say I was not a fan. Just I think last few races, you know, I don't know if the pressure's gotten to you, but you're a very aggressive driver. I've been looking at some of your stunts at recent races, and like I'm sure many people here have gone, but not to cause any angst amongst my Dutch followers, we'll leave it at that. Thanks, Max. Good luck. Good luck in the last race. Unbelievable. Gwen Jones, what's the shortest route have you done as a captain? As a captain, Gwen, I've done some positioning flights, flight time and ghost flights, so 10 minutes, you know, takeoff and landings. Shortest, I'm not going to discuss the two airports because they're too local to me and I don't wish to disclose where I'm based and who I work for, as most of you all know. But yeah, I've flown between the two bases, repositioning an aircraft that diverted the day before. Mason, my first VATSIM flight was a few days ago. You mentioned it. Fantastic. Lauren, absolutely ridiculous. Nicholas, are you thinking of taking the IXEG out of the hangar for a stream anytime soon? It's been a while since we've flown it. I do like it. Don't know if it's very much kept up to date though, is it? If it's been updated since I last flew, I might go try it out. We did one, oh God, how do I remember this stuff? I think it was 1.3, version 1.3 last time we flew it. 1.33, can't remember. John, apart from your current operator, is there any operators you'd really like to fly for? Honestly, no. Just very happy here. Next race is going to be carnage for sure. Who here thinks, because Max, if I understand, they both get DNFs, Max wins on the fact that, because on the same points, but on the fact he's had more races. Who thinks he's going to try and do a Schumacher on Lewis? Just take him out. I mean, if it's what's all that's needed, I just don't think it will go down well. Set the pumps off. Absolutely, Lauren. Based on any interesting Japanese airports. Yeah, Max wins with his DNFs, yeah. Senna and Prost as well, yeah. But yeah, of course, 3, 2, 1 short. I think in this day and age he'll be disqualified if he did that. But then he'd still win, but maybe they'd dock points off him or make it so he couldn't win. That would be controversial. Cheers, Kieran.
I've heard Max Verstappen trains at his local fairground on the bumper cast / Dodgems.
Kieran, I don't want this. Oh, what are you doing? I don't want this to my stream to be the breeding ground of much hate between people. Oh dear, oh dear. Unbelievable. Tanchkai, what plugin are you using for the rain effects on the thumbnail? So I've reverted to OpenGL, no longer using Vulkan, and it's the ski effects included with the ZIBO mod. Thank you, Kieran Harvey, for the £2. That was outrageous. L. Smith, I'd love it if Bottas took him out. That would work. Who is Max Anstey? He'd catch up. Unbelievable. Yes, good idea, Tom Pascoe. 23 months as a member, almost got your Alpaca exclusive 2-year badge. Let's get back on topic. Thoughts on X-Plane 12. Thank you, Tom Pascoe. Yeah, looks really promising, doesn't it? I think they're putting in a lot of the sort of things that the community like from a graphics perspective. So, you know, pretty skies, snow, nice water effects. Looks good. You know, in essence, the X-Plane 11's core flight model, blade element theory, yada yada, however it works, is very good. There doesn't need to be much changes. That's why aircraft behave so nicely in this sim, because of that. So hopefully, you know, I'm not going to use the accent. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's still work needs to be done. But yeah, it's looking really promising. I can't wait to try it out. That's for sure. Will you fly the PMDG 737 when it comes out in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Yes, I will, Dreeny. Now, I don't really stay up to date with the going-ons at PMDG, but I've heard that well, we've all seen that the Microsoft Flight Simulator, the recent updates, have caused quite a few problems from what I understand. Live weather's not working, lots of other bugs as well. Someone told me that PMDG, they released the DC6 on Xbox, which I thought was quite interesting. How it works on Xbox I don't know, but apparently it didn't work at all, so they had to then remove it from the store or something. But yeah, it's yeah, definitely, of course, try it. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Can't wait to. I mean, this is the origins of this channel was on the PMDG in FSX, and it's an aircraft I flew when I was on my, or I was using during my type rating when I became an instructor, and in essence, is how this channel was born. Ranger, don't fly Flight Sim 2020 anymore. Yeah. My opinion is it's a great sim. It looks fantastic. You can go anywhere in the world. Virtually, it looks stunning. But for me right now, commercial. I mean, guys, you'll be able to tell me. I mentioned this in Discord the other day. The 2 aircraft I've flown, which have probably been the most, you know, most, let's say, accurate, highest fidelity, is the Aerosoft CRJ and the PMDG DC6. Are they even working with the latest sim updates? I don't know, but I've heard there's been all sorts of issues. But yeah, it's these sim updates, as good as they are, and they do fix bugs. There seem to be more bugs that are coming out, and for the vast majority of you who watch videos on my channel, you want to see commercial operations, you want to see jets flying. You know, we have a bit of fun flying the Airbus, but you guys want to see me fly 737s most of the time, which is why I always jump into this aircraft every 2 or 3 streams at least. But no, I think after today, change the topic slightly, I want to jump back into the Fearless 747. I'm yearning to fly that aircraft again. I really like it. So perhaps I'm on. Well, this might be, guys. This might be a bit sad. This could be the last stream I do on my current PC. Every stream to date has been on my current PC. My new PC is imminently about to arrive, so it could be on my next PC when I stream again. Very exciting. Moody, hi. Do you turn off taxi light after takeoff procedure? So, operator, when we put the gear up, we turn the taxi light off and the retracts off if we have the older NGs. We obviously have the LEDs on this one. Lucas, are you into DCS? I have installed it once and found it all very complicated. I think it'd be fun to try it out one day though on a stream. I'm going to have so much more storage on my current PC. I've been battling with half a terabyte on this PC, meaning I can't really keep custom scenery installed all the time, which is not a problem. I have about 50-60 gig left all the time. My new PC, which, I did show it last time, just before we start shutting up here in Shannon. I'll show you the specs of my PC. I think I still have it in my Avitab folder. I do, yes, here is my new PC. So it's a 12th gen Intel PC, processor Intel Core i7-12700, so it's the 12th generation Intel Core processor. One of those power supplies, NVIDIA RTX 3080. The case has actually changed. I now have an NXZT case because this one couldn't fit all the equipment in, so I had to change the case. That motherboard, a cooler for the CPU, some paste, 32 gig of RAM, and the main hard drive's 2 terabytes now, so 4 times the size of my other one. This will be a drive for all my other games, so for the Fly Deck Sim gaming channel. And I'll also I've got my 4 terabyte drive already installed there, so that's the new PC. Terry's Tech channel, thank you very much for becoming a member. Welcome aboard, glad you're enjoying the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. I hope you enjoy using the custom emojis in chat as well. Thanks a lot, buddy, really do appreciate it. Jonathan Wiltshire, thank you again for a tenner, very kind of you, sir.
Great to see you fly out of my local again. Haven't caught a steam for a while, so this was a nice bonus on my day off. Smiley face. Hope your schedule gets back to normal soon and the new PC is worth the wait.
Well, thank you very much, Jonathan Wiltshire, for the £10. Very kind of you. To be fair, my schedule's been pretty normal. I've not had or not experienced out of our base much disruption from this newest COVID variant. Who knows what's going to happen January, February time. I've been really busy. First time I've flown in December for a while. Last year was a write-off, but no, I've got I had flown 4 days. I flew Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days in a row. This weekend gone. I'm flying on Friday this week, standby on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I've got I'm unfortunately flying all around Christmas. I'm flying on Christmas Eve, off on Christmas Day, flying on Boxing Day. But yeah, it's very grateful to be flying, albeit winter ops and horrible weather, but that's all I can wish for. Very happy at the moment with that. And yeah, very excited for the PC as well, John. Thank you very much for the tenner indeed. Where is Nightbot? Nightbot is being particularly lazy today. Have I not connected it? Oh, I think I know why it's not working. I don't think Nightbot was synced up. I don't know why. No. Right, guys, just try a command now. Nightbot might be working, because I had it running in the background, but it wasn't actually connected to the YouTube channel. There we are. Nightbot's here. Oh. Straight away deleting messages, Nightbot. There we are. Oh, dear. I don't know why. There we are. It's now working. Nightbot is back. it wasn't on. I don't know why. Oh, for goodness sake. Meta Boss, welcome to the party, Nightbot. Anyway, look, we've been chatting so much. It's been great fun. I love all the interactiveness, but this is quite a short flight, guys. We should start straight away planning this. Look at this, approaching top of descent here, straight away at 60 miles. So look at that, fuel arrival 5.8 tons. It's quite a lot, but as we discussed, we want to have enough fuel to allow us to fly around for an hour. Now, in reality, with the actual updated weather conditions that we saw at the start of the stream, I probably wouldn't have taken as much fuel as this. This is based on what the weather was more like yesterday, but I just wanted to demonstrate from our fuel planning purposes when we have widespread disruption like this what we take. So we've got enough fuel to essentially fly around for an hour and then divert all the way to our furthest alternate, which is Manchester. We'll hand over control to Andy so we can start setting up. So all the way over here to descent. So the winds up here look quite light, 38 knots. They then increase as we descend to 90 knots, and then they'll increase further as we continue our descent. Torsten, thank you very much for joining as a member. Glad you're enjoying the content. You'll get invited to our members-only Discord. I hope you enjoy using the custom modes in chat as well. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it. Right, so 250 below 100 knots. Forecast winds will punch in now. 310. 200 and 100s. We've got 329 at 93, 200 335 at 68,
50,
and 100
40,
313 at 39.
30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Sergio Perez.
I will punt Lewis in Abu Dhabi, just a little so he will spin.
Thanks, Sergio Perez. That's the second Formula 1 driver to donate to the channel tonight. Thank you indeed. You're going to give Lewis a little bit of a punt, are you, for a bit of a spin? Unbelievable. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed. Sergio Perez. Quite surprised you didn't pay in pesos. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Unbelievable. What's the 9121? Can you say which airline you fly for? Appreciate, it's a very curious question. A lot of people ask that. That's something I personally choose not to disclose. My operator is fully aware I run the channel, and they're very grateful that they allow me to do that with certain agreements. One of them isn't actually, I could actually say who I work for, it's just a personal choice. So if you say travel with my airline or lose your bags with them or something, you don't start asking me to chase it up, basically. But that's the main reason. Thank you. Cheers for that as well, Domino Messina. Right, expected QNH is 999 hectopascals. You should be able to put a slash in, I'm pretty sure. So 999. Fixed wings runway 24, which we're expecting down in Shannon. 10, 4, and we're at 38,000 feet, so 3 times our height is going to be 114 miles. That should roughly correspond where top of descent is. There it is, just around the corner. So let's get rid of our Birmingham charts, which we won't need until later. Type in Shannon's code, which is Echo India November November. Someone did just grab the weather for Shannon, I did see in chat. So 290 at 18 knots, so that's about a 15 knot crosswind, so we've still got a crosswind to contend with. There's a few showers of CBs around 7 degrees, 9 at 9 hectopascals. Also, someone's knocking on the door and ringing a bell. Shannon Centre, 13115.
50, 40, 30.
Thank you very much for the
20,
$5, Domino Orsini. Really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Cheers, man.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning.
Your new gaming machine sounds awesome.
Thank you.
Hope you get some sleep in anticipation of its arrival.
Honestly, I feel like a kid.
40, 30, 20.
Thank you, Dominic Rossini. I feel like a kid at Christmas. Very excited. I'll try and get to sleep. Lewis Hamilton.
You don't scare me, Sergio.
Who are you? Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, now Lewis Hamilton coming in with a couple of quid. You don't scare me, Sergio. Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Lewis Hamilton. Good luck on Sunday and Saturday, of course. Dear, oh dear. I need to contact Shannon Centre now. Too many distractions today. Shannon, very good evening. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, maintaining flight level 380 and a left turn now, direct Pelig.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, Shannon, good day. Identified Diggin 2 Delta, arrival landing 24 at Shannon, report ready for descent.
Diggin 2 Delta, runway 24 Shannon, Wilco Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Excellent. Mason might join in the second leg, first time as Alpaca, absolutely, feel free to do so. Where did we get to? Fixed wings are in. Let's have a look at our arrivals. So ATC just advised us it's a Diggin 2 Delta. Diggin 2 Delta, and it'll be ILS 24. And we'll grab the airport charts and the parking stance chart as well. So let's have a look at the arrival first. Diggin 2 Delta, starting at Diggin. We've got to be at a flight level 80.
Delta uniform monitoring, come 122.8, good day.
Try and get us into a position where we can see everything.
Runner 9, Papa X-ray, continue with Unicom 122.8, good day.
So Diggin 80 above, 80 above to Ogono. Ogono 6,000 feet or above. That checks in the FMC. And then from Ogono to Derag, max 220 knots out above 3,000. Derag 202. So we are below 220 at that point, but I will just put it in the FMC. 220 below.
50, 40, 30,
There we are at
20,
Derag.
10.
That is executed. There be dragons. Thank you so much for the $10, buddy. That's very kind.
To hell with sleep. Stay up all night playing on your new computer. It's the only way.
Well, I hope you realise, there be dragons, this isn't the new computer I'm on at the moment. I will try and get some sleep tonight. It will be perhaps arriving tomorrow or Friday. If it arrives on Friday, I'm at work. So I hope it doesn't get delivered elsewhere, but hopefully I'll get it tomorrow. And yeah, Kid of Christmas, there be dragons. Thank you very much for $10 for your contribution. Very kind. So sorry, chat, for questions if I'm missing any. It's a manic flight, this one. Crazy generous. Ogono Derag. And Derag will enter a hold if we've not been cleared. That's it, essentially. Descent planning. Plan as possible. Descent clearance for following. 60 above by Gilog. I think that's for a different arrival, which it is. Shannon, approach airspace is level. Bust hotspot area, so comply with restrictions. Essentially, that's all it. So, on to the ILS-24. Frequencies, courses minimum. So, firstly, frequencies 110.95.
Charlie, nothing further. Scottish offline 122.8. Good day. 122.8, all the best, go Fox Charlie.
So ILS is... Oh, already had the frequency there. Is active. We've got Shannon VOR, put that on standby. 13.3. 13.3. Courses...
left again, heading to
237. 237.
I think there's some weather differences with a couple of the aircraft in front of you.
237. Frequencies, courses, and minimums. ILS Cat C for us, so RVR's 550 metres. We've had... Without HUD, that's fine for us. 215. So, reset MTP altitude, request descents.
Back at 6 Foxtrot, Shannon, good day. Identified tip or 2 Delta, arrival landing runway 24.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, request descent.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, descend flight level 250.
Descend flight level 250, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So we can either push out into vent or let it do it, but if we push out into vent, it'll commence its descent now, and then once it captures profile, it'll go retard, which it's just done now. Now we are top of the descented chat, ladies and gentlemen. So frequencies, courses, minimums coming in via either vectors or Derag onto the localizer. Platform altitude is 3,000 feet to intercept the ILS at Rosrow at 3,000. Rosrow 3,000, there's the 3-degree ILS as well. Minimums we've discussed. If we have to go around, my actions will be to push Toga. We'll then call go around flat 15 and set go around for us. Deposit ready to climb. Gear up 400 feet LNAV, and then we'll climb straight ahead till November 012. November 012. There's a right turn, kind of 4,000 feet to hold at the VOR. Shannon. So that's all set. We can use LNAV for the missed approach. So, Pappy's left and right, how it tends to approach lights. Yeah, can do a Cat 2 in here, no problem at all. Dankill, don't take any unneeded virtual risks. No, not from the new PC today, guys, not from the new PC. It's on its way, it's in a box being sent to my address as we speak. So, nice long runway here in Shannon, 3,200 metres. We'll plan to vacate an Alpha from runway 24 onto the apron, and then we'll see where we get parked. If there's no ATC, we'll make our way there. So, landing performance, let's base it off a wet runway. We've got loads of fuel, guys, 5.8, enough to divert to Manchester and sit on our hands for an hour. So we're still going to burn 500 kilos between then and now. So 61.6 is the landing weight. 61.6. Runway 24, wet. Headwind component, based off the actual wind on the METAR, is 11 knots.
Alpaca 2 Mike Foxtrot, contact Shannon 124.7, bye-bye.
Oh yeah, it doesn't like that, does it? So I'm just going to put 24011. It's not the wind, but just to get the headwind component in the computer.
Alpaca 5, Mike Foxtrot, contact Shannon low.
Temperature is 7 degrees.
24.7, Alpaca 5, Mike Foxtrot, bye-bye.
9 at 9 at 9 at. Flat 30. And reverses both. There we are. So flat 30 order brake 3. It's about 2,000 metres, which is what we need at least for Alpha. Secondly 10 reverse as well. As we've discussed in the past, X-planes braking action on wet runway can be quite poor. Much worse than what would class as good, more like medium. So we'll have a look at it there. There we are. Tom Pascoe, is it common to have PAPIs on both sides? Yes, especially airports which have the Cat 2 or Cat 3 approaches, but not all. I don't know who decides whether they have 1 or 2 PAPIs. I've flown to a few Cat 3 airports which have just 1 PAPI.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo on conversion, speed 250 knots.
On conversion 250 knots, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So we're already converted and we're doing faster than that, so we're going to have to go to level change 250 now just to bring our speed right back. And we'll update VNav to tell it to do 250 knots. There we are, that's executed. So it's put us high on profile because it's based off a steeper speed. So we're just going to use speed brake to help slow down to 250 and recapture that vertical profile. Moody, you started type rating on the 7.3 in January, looking forward to flying together one day. You never know, Moody. Good luck. DC9798, do you ever fly procedural approaches in real life, or are they generally radar vectored? Very much depends where you fly into, but you know, we fly procedural approaches, vectored approaches, circle to lands, visuals, VORs, NDBs. I mean, most of those incorporate the FMS, and you can use LNAV and VNav. But no, procedural approaches at a number of airports, even where they have radar as well, just because it's more convenient. Anyway, let's talk about crosswind landings. Does anyone want to grab the latest weather in Shannon in chat? We can have a discuss about the crosswind landing technique. Now I have the Boeing Thrustmaster TCA yoke, I will be making, finally, my two tutorials, crosswind takeoff and crosswind landing techniques with the camera as I had with the preview video as well, and it will give you lovely feedback and comments on that video as how many people really enjoyed having that camera, so you could see me making the inputs on the yoke, which are very comparable to the real aircraft, so looking forward to that. Uh-oh, Shannon doesn't recognise remote server return code.
Identify climb flight level 160.
Sam Heaton, when you change VNav to target 250, does the FMS adjust the intended descent path so that you maintain that speed following? That is correct, Samson. 124.7 Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, bye. So I've just gotten rid of the speed brake because we're approaching 1,000 feet to go. Just need to get that frequency set to 1247. Shannon, good evening. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, descending flight level 250, inbound Peleg, speed 250 knots or less.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, good afternoon. Shannon Control, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So 80 is set because it was out of choir, it's gone vertical speed, so now level change 250, and we'll just get that speed brake back out. No point keeping the speed brake out if you're levelling off, and then we can keep descending now.
Right, Quebec Alpha, reduce speed 230 knots.
Isn't it 230 knots, runway Quebec Alpha?
Right, Quebec Alpha, report the heading and speed to Shannon approach 121.4, good day.
Report the heading and
So just turned him down slightly. There we are, thanks guys for getting the Shannon weather. So you can see 290.18 still, so that's a 15-ish knot crosswind. So when the crosswind's coming in from the right like that, the aircraft's going to be crabbing to the right in this direction. And that means during the flare, we still do check, close, hold. We're going to apply downwind rudder, so left rudder, and then we place aileron into wind as well to keep the wings level. It's so important in the NG with the... Oh, I don't want to deafen you guys here. Let's just go outside quickly. So important with the NG to keep the wings level through the flare when decrabbing, because with the gear down, and the engine pods are very close to the ground, so you don't want to strike the pod. Use as much aileron input as you need. Now, as we mentioned earlier, in X-plane, when you apply that rudder, you have to do the decrabbing technique a lot later in the sim because it wants to float. There's a bit of an exasperated ground effect with a lot of aircraft in flight sim. Speed brake stowed back off VNav. So I'll be doing it quite late. Decrabbing isn't the most important thing on a crosswind landing technique. It's actually don't forget to flare. A lot of people, when you train them in the type rating, they get so preoccupied by the decrab technique that they forget to flare. Boeing actually approve you to actually, you can land with crab even on a dry runway. Not recommended on a dry runway because it can side load the gear quite a lot, and the aircraft tends to then track straight away in the direction the aircraft's facing as soon as you've touched down, so it requires quite aggressive rudder inputs to maintain the aircraft stable. So on a wet runway, a dry runway, we try this decrab technique. On a contaminated runway, leave the crab in and then just maintain centre line as well as you can after landing.
Bravo, turn right heading 285, bit short delay just due to traffic at TMA.
Right heading 285 degrees, copy down back at 20 Bravo. So he's making some separation, so when you get vectored off your course here, there's no point descending as quickly as you can in level change, so just go VS 1000 and just the thrust come up here slightly. Sometimes happens in reality as well. Get when you're back on going towards the airport, update VNAV accordingly. So yeah, we're going to try this downwind rudder, aileron into wind. The key thing is to keep the wings level throughout the entire flare. Don't let the wings drop. That's so important. And then once you've touched down, maintain centre line with rudder, keep the aileron into wind, and as the aircraft slows down, you can neutralise the aileron inputs as well. Now, like everything I'm telling you guys, I know some of you are starting type rating soon, or some of you are new line pilots or whatnot. Remember, everything I'm saying, it is what I was teaching in the sim, but it's not to be used. Only please consult your official training guidance. Gregory, what does check close hold? It's the ultimate question. It's the landing technique we use at operator for the 737.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Speed brake, says Addis. Yes, it is now stowed. Adam, thanks for the 19 months as a member. Thanks for sharing all of these informations with us. You're most welcome, Adam. That's what this channel is all about.
Report the heading and speed to Shannon approach on frequency 121.4. Good day.
Done many external views today. Haven't even played any music. It's been such an action-packed flight. Ben, what do you mean by updating VNAV? Yes, so what we want to do, see, as we're on a heading at the moment, we're going off our magenta line. VNAV is quite a simple system. It doesn't know where you are in relation to the magenta line. It always thinks you're on it, even if you're paralleling it. If you update it, what I mean is bring your active waypoint back to the top.
Bravo, turn left heading 260.
Heading 260 degrees, out back at 20 Bravo.
Minimums,
approaching
minimums.
So 260, and watch what happens to the VNAV profile when I execute it. It'll extend the line, and it's just changing by a couple of 100 feet or so. So that makes sense. So much going on. Well, firstly, Toto Wolf, thanks for the £2.
Can I borrow your Bose headset, please? Mine's not working and not sure why.
Thank you, Toto Wolf. It's because you smashed it on the ground with millions of people watching. That was my first reaction, was that's a really expensive headset. He probably gets it for free though. Or you do, Toto. Thanks buddy. Glad you enjoyed the video. Unbelievable. Thank you, there be Dragons, 23 months as a member. Crazy. Everyone, smash that like button. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. 288 likes. 300 likes. Let's go for that. Thanks, guys. So I'm actually going to go level change now because we're sort of heading in the right direction. I thought we'd be on a bit of a delayed. Thanks for that. That was you, Shuey. Unbelievable. Thanks, bud. Excellent. Right, about 15 minutes until we land, so we'll cycle the belts. That just tells the crew how long to go. No problem, Ben Stratford. I hope that sort of makes sense. A little bit of weather around, but it's just returning or painting green. We'll sort of treat the weather radar a little bit more realistically today, so this is fine. Might be a little bit of turbulence associated with that, as long as it's not green associated with thunderstorms, which it wouldn't often be the case. You'd have yellow, red, and a sort of like a globular shaped green, yellow, red. Sorry, red in the middle, yellow, then green. Looking for the shape of it as well. Clement Rono, kindly say again the crabbing technique when you're on crosswind landing. You mentioned something to do with applying rudder to the downwind side. Yes, so you imagine the wind's coming from right to left. Okay, so the aircraft's crabbing. Hold on, did I say downwind rudder? I'm trying to get this right. You actually want upwind rudder. So yeah, the easiest way to remember is always decrab in the opposite way you're tracking. I confused you by saying downwind when I meant upwind. So we got the wind coming from the right today. We're going to use left rudder to decrab. Left rudder, which is technically, we talk about upwind, downwind in relation to the runway or the wind direction. 230 knots, Alpaca 20 Bravo. So you use rudder to decrab to essentially get the aircraft pointing in the right direction down the runway. Then you apply aileron into wind to keep the wings level, because as you apply rudder, we're going to apply left rudder today. This wing will sweep forward, and this one will sweep back. That means this wing is going faster through the air, this one less, and that creates a rolling moment because there's more lift on this side of the wing and less here. The aircraft will want to roll to the left, so you have to apply right aileron into wind. Don't worry though, Clement Brenner, I'm going to have a tutorial coming out hopefully before the end of the year using the yoke, the TCA Thrustmaster yoke, where I can give you a lot more detail and explanation in a bit more of a sterile environment than trying to stream a multi-crew aircraft online with a few hundred people watching. Right, 230 knots, so again we'll tell VNAV. Now, it keeps wanting to slow down to 270 knots already, I don't know why. There we are, 230 is a bit early. Joshua, Dublin's currently 30, gusting 42, but pretty much straight down the runway. That's sort of wind shear territory, that is.
Right, heading 270 degrees, report the heading and the speed to Shannon, approach 121.4, good afternoon.
Right, heading 270 degrees, and we'll pull that heading to Shannon on frequency 121.4, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Bye. There we are. So the Shannon approach. It's a little bit bumpy, yeah. It's that'll be the wind. Shannon approach, very good evening, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, descending flight level 80, speed 230 knots on a radar heading of 270 degrees.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, Shannon approach, good evening, identified. You can continue heading 270 degrees, I'll give you a left turn shortly.
Maintain present heading, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So on that heading still, again, we could update the FMS, let's just go direct to Ogono.
Liner Quebec Alpha, speed 180 knots until 60, me and then 160 knots until 4, contact tower 118.7, I'll see you.
Speed brake's less effective at slower speed, so 280 knots of speed brake's a lot more effective than 230 knots of speed brake. At the up speed, all the speed brake does, it makes the aircraft shake around a bit. Very little increase in rate of descent. Engine NCI's coming up.
Ryanair 784, turn left heading 270 degrees.
Yeah, Shannon, this is all Aer Lingus and Ryanair territory. Sam Heaton, that's a question actually. Is there a maximum headwind component that a 737 can land into? At my operator, the maximum reported speed on the ground is 60 knots. So above 60 knots, we can't land. Crosswind component, dry wet runway 33. Clouds actually, these clouds look very good. So I know they're not enhanced skyscapes, but just hitting the top of them, that looks very nice.
20 Bravo, turn left heading 230 degrees.
Left heading 230 degrees, Alpaca 20 Bravo. This is very common in Europe, guys, so to my US watchers, in Europe a lot of times you get taken off the arrival and just affected, especially in the UK and Ireland. Ooh, that was cool. Hello ski rain effects, so wicked. Right, passing 9880 pre-cruise, post-cruise check, so fuel 4 pumps, loads of gas, 6 tons, lights coming on. Logo as well, AP's off, pressurization 3.3, set, seatbelts on.
Alpaca 5, Mike Foxtrot, turn right heading
recall checks complete, and we'll also mute all these F1 drivers forbidden chat. There we are. There we go.
Turn right heading 275 degrees.
So this is a bit unrealistic. The clouds are not moving with the wind. It seems like we're crabbing, obviously you and the clouds.
Sierra Bravo, continue left turn heading correction, heading 170 degrees.
Left heading 170 degrees, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So yeah, you're obviously moving in the...
Sierra Bravo, speed 210 knots.
210 knots, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So you could obviously see there, we were crabbing, not with the clouds. The clouds should be moving at the same time as the PC. Right, there's 80, and speed brake stowed.
Alpaca 5, Mike Foxtrot, stop right turning.
No, this isn't the new PC, guys. I think I've confused everyone because I put on Chill Blast Instagram post about my new PC arriving. This is the old PC still. PL UK, you're using OPGL because of the ski effects today. But I'm thinking of sticking with it because I'm not having FPS issues. Look at this weather. Ugh. Oh, hello, Jack. You just walked in. Hello, buddy. What real world weather do you use? Active Sky. Wouldn't usually do that. They'd usually have blown off by now, but just gets rid of it.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo decent altitude 5,000 feet QNH 9
Said 5,000 feet QNH 9 at 9 hectopascals, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So let's go 5,000 feet, level change, set QNH 9 at 9, so always a bit of a threat here. A lower QNH, when you set it, there's a big decrease in your altitude. But not as bad as Birmingham, but 7,500 for 5,000 feet, and the standby altimeter is set. Are you using Cloud Art? No, these are Active Skies cloud texture set. Not using enhanced skyscapes at the moment, just haven't been too much of an FPS impact for me. But I think it looks great. The sim, that rain we just had looks much better. Well, there's no point keep descending if we're heading away from Shannon. Bit of a delayed vector again, so vertical speeds. Just do 500 feet, 500-600 feet per minute would do. Anti-ice, yeah, we'll leave the engine anti-ice on 2 tons. Wing anti-ice, yeah, it's very hard to know if you need to use it in the sim without any visual representation of ice. 0 degrees, yeah, you very likely you're sort of in that.
Bravo, turn right, fleet 0 degrees.
Heading 330 degrees, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Just because I know ice is model, I might just put wing anti-ice on for a second because I don't want to be falling out the sky any second. But that's cool, this sort of warp speed you're seeing is exactly how you see the rain at night.
Alpaca 5, Mike Foxtrot, speed 180.
Leave the engine anti-ice on still.
Speed 180 till 6, Alpaca 5, Mike Foxtrot. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, stop right turn heading 310 degrees, and descend altitude 3,000 feet.
We're on a heading of 310 degrees, descend 3,000 feet on the heading, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. 3,000 feet set. There's Shannon Airport down there. God, this weather is yeah, so you always tell it it's not nice weather, it's 54 knots still at 6,000 feet, and it's windy. Simple Aviator, what a Pilot 737 looks like 733. You changed it anything at all? Yes. ZIBO Mod, you have the option for the original Collins MCP, which we've got on today. It's an old NG here. Again, we wouldn't use wipers in reality, it's just to get rid of this. That's a bit weird. So he's just created some spacing between ourselves and that aircraft there. Excellent. Hi Samuel Butler, hope you're doing well. Look at this turbulence. Bit of wing flex as well. I know you guys love a bit of wing flex. Up, straight back in the rain again. Lovely evening. Alex Sheehan, you're currently around the area of my house.
Bravo, left heading 270 degrees, on the heading clear now, let's approach runway 24, report when established.
Left heading 270 degrees on that heading, cleared, ILS 24, we'll come back to Sierra Bravo. So just going to go level change, that should keep us nicely on the glide slope, and we'll just route direct to Rosrow, just to tidy up the FMS. There we are. This version of the ZIBO mod is the latest public version as well, 351.6. It's a bit of a gem, it would seem.
Bravo, speed 180 knots until 60 ME.
180 till 60 ME, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Bit of a gem, guys. It's been behaving really well so far. So speed checked, flaps 1. Just going to select vertical speeds. It's bumpy today. Flap 1. And we're just using VS now to keep the aircraft on glide. Just going to go flap 5. There we are, flap 5. But using the yoke, no, not today. Until I get my camera set up, because obviously it's a big old thing on the desk. I'll get it all out. I'm just using the Airbus TCA yoke today, but I am planning streams with it in the future with a camera. Oh yeah, just realised my speed's not this 180. I'll go back to the flat 5 speed. Right, cleared approach, correct sensing, approaching 10 miles. Approach is armed. .45 knots, and it should be dropping down to around 15-20 knot crosswind by the time we get down there. Pretty gnarly.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, speed 160 knots until 40 feet.
160 till 4, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Is 166 knots okay?
166 knots is grand for now, yeah.
Thank you. So that's another thing we actually check in reality, because 160 I have to configure gear down flat 15, which is a lot more drag. And my operator hasn't agreed with a lot of airlines when they say 160 or till 4 just to fly the flat 5 or 10 speed, which is about 166 knots. It just means we could save going gear down flat 15, you know, increase the noise, increase the fuel burn. Look at that heading and track difference as well, 10 degrees of drift. Try and do a CDA. There's localizer alive. Yeah, localizer capture, so runway heading 237 set, and glide slope capture. Nice CDA that was. Missed approach altitude is... where are you? 4,000 feet. Look at, because that wind is delaying its turn onto the localizer. That's really cool. It's quite realistic. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo fully established. Oh, look at this
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, thank you very much. Reduce final approach speed, surface 1290 degrees, 20 knots, gusting 35, continue approach. And contact Shannon Tower 118.7.
Continue approach to minimum approach speed and contact tower on frequency 1187. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Cheers. Perfect. Did you hear that wind, guys? Someone bring up the METAR and chat. Gusting 35 could be over limits here if it's a direct cross. Oh no. Get out flat 15, landing checklist. We'll just contact tower. Actually, we're going to go flat 30 because he wanted minimum approach speed and a nice increment as well because of that wind. And let's just contact tower first, and then we'll do the landing checklist. Shannon Tower, hello, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, established ILS 24, minimum approach speed.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, thank you very much, Tower. Continue Bravo, runway 24, number 2. Surface wind checks, 290 degrees, 20, gust 35.
Continue approach, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So 290 at 20 knots, gusting 35.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, just confirm QNH checks 110 hectopascals.
New QNH 1000 hectopascals, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So 290 with a full gust of 35 knots. That's a crosswind. Yeah, it's about 27, 28 knots, so it's within limits. Just 33 knots is the maximum crosswind component we can take. And we'll now do the landing checklist. This is going to be gnarly, guys. Honestly, it's not easy doing this in a desktop sim. Landing checklist, please, Andy. Oh my days.
Landing checklist. Start switches.
Continuous.
Recall.
Checked.
Speed brake.
Arm green lights.
Landing gear.
Down 3 green.
Auto brake.
3.
Flaps.
Got 30 green lights.
Landing light.
To come.
Landing checklist complete.
Not quite, because not be clear to land, but cheers, Andy. Landing checklist complete, guys. This is probably the most difficult conditions I've landed in during a stream here. So it's not going to be perfect. Like I said, it's quite hard to do this like we do in real life. In the X-Plane 11, the ZIBO mod, when you apply rudder to decrab, you lose a lot of aileron authority. It doesn't seem to be as roll as I'd expect it to. So we're going to have wings in the air, we're going to be skidding all over the place because the runway condition is going to be simulated far worse. Don't expect any miracles. This is not going to be pretty. It's going to be great. Great viewing though. It's not going to be wasted. I'll do my best. Look at this crab. Checked. You watch, we're going to get a 35 knot gust last second. Oh dear. Boga. It's been a while since we've done a boga. Whoa!
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, the surface wind checks 290 degrees, 20, gust 35, 37 maximum, runway 24 clear to land.
Runway 24 clear to land, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Just confirm the maximum gust was 37 knots? 37. That's where you'd be asking PM to just do a quick check to make sure that's in limits, but I think we're just alright there, 37, that heading there. So here we are. Autopilot, autothrottle cleared to land. Checklist complete. Need some wipers on here. No, I'm gonna have to go heads up here. Look, it's going to be starting and stopping. We'll put the wipers on just in case the sim just decides to make it start raining. Now, I'm ending up downwind of the runway. That's not good in these conditions. Oy, oy, oy. It is really ropey. These inputs I'm making, it's turbulent. Oh, weather's reloading. Behave yourself. Checked. Checked. I've just put the wipers on in case it starts raining. In the sim again, getting a bit high. 3 wides. Watch the rate of descent. Oh, this is cool. Right. Continue, just this is not easy. Keep sending now.
50, 40,
keep sending.
30, 20, 10.
Right, decrab. Aileron into wind. It's just started raining again. Oh my god, why do you float so much? Come on. No. Oh, come on. Right, no, let's go around now. Go around. Oh, that's flaps. Come on. Why? Oh, autothrottle's not disconnected, you absolute noob. Go around, flap 15, set go around thrust. Unbelievable. Positive air climb gear up. What an absolute imbecile. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo going around. I don't think I've ever done that before. I was wondering why it was still floating. Kept putting the flaps up.
Shannon, Roger.
Speed check to
33 air climb, altitude 3,000 feet.
Right turn heading 330 degrees and climb 3,000 feet. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, contact Shannon again now, 121.4.
121.4, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, bye. So still hand flying. Oh, it's not easy. 330. Flaps 1, just take the thrust off a little bit, 3,000 feet set. The go around is actually. Oh, god damn it. Oh, so fiddly. Oh, I've got lightning now! Level change. Flaps up. Oh dear. So aviate, navigate, communicate. How did I forget to disconnect the autothrottle? I do not know. Oh. Let's level off first. Aviate, navigate, communicate. Oh. That's why we floated, guys, because the autothrottle was still connected. Command, auto throttle. I'm shaking a tiny bit. I know this isn't real. I'd far rather be in the sim here than in real life. Right, contact the
Turning to 70 degrees.
Unbelievable.
Roger.
Shannon, hello again. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravos. I missed approach from runway 24. Heading 330 degrees, maintaining 3,000 feet.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, hello again. Climb altitude 3,000 feet, turn right heading 060 degrees, speed 200 knots.
Right, 060 degrees and speed 2. Just come up speed again, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo.
If you make it speed 210 knots, please, 210 knots.
210 knots, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. There we are, so after takeoff checklist, gears off, leave the auto brake in 3, engine anti-ice is on, air conditioning and pressurization is fine. Recall. That would have been a butter if it wasn't for the fact that the thrust was still coming up. I feel like an absolute fool. Oh no. Check's complete. So, yeah, the missed approach went really well. The mod handled it beautifully. So, go around, push toga eventually. I don't know if you noticed, I accidentally pressed the flap up button instead of pushing toga. That's a mistake you wouldn't make in real life. But once we got into the missed approach, it was quite nicely flown, quite happy with how the mod reacted and how I eventually reacted. But we're now at 210 knots. We now need to reselect the approach in the FMC. My operator, we call the cabin crew, what was the reason for the go around, blah 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 blah, we're going to have another go. We then talk to the passengers, say, okay, the reason for missed approach was because your pilot flying is beep, you've got to disconnect the auto throttle, and we're going to have another go and try to remember to disconnect it.
Turn left by 10 degrees and report that heading.
Left 10 degrees heading is 050 degrees, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So he wants that because he doesn't know what the wind is. So he can obviously give me a heading to track the runway, because he's given me a heading not so sure about. Right, let's go here. Departure arrivals, Shannon, ILS 24, execute legs, direct to Derag for now. Execute, That'll do. Let's go derag. What will be a nice little intercept there for us as we get vectored. Something like
Easy 500,
3303.
turn right heading 035 degrees. Right
4.
035,
Just tidying up the MCP. The FMS there. There we are. So something looks a little bit
500,
more realistic.
5,000 feet, QNH.
There we are. HMS Daring, you probably forgot. That's exactly why I forgot to disconnect the autopilot, because the auto throttle, because the autopilot tripped. I don't know why. I think it's because I grabbed the joystick and made a very small input, which is why it went off. And obviously in my head, I thought the auto throttle was disconnected. That's honestly the reason why I forgot to disconnect it, because in my head, the autopilot was kicked off, and I didn't go through that mental memory of disconnecting the autopilot and auto throttle. That's the exact reason why I forgot. So really well observed.
Right heading 090 degrees.
Right heading 090 degrees. Alpaca 20 Bravo. Yeah, bank should be 25. I spotted. Must have knocked that when I was trying to set up the headings. Like that.
Rider 5 Delta Victor Shannon approach. Good evening. Identified. Flight heading 260 degrees on the turn short.
This is hair raising. This is right. That last wind as well. That was windy. I'm actually getting my OPT up so I can double check the winds.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, turn right heading 210 degrees. Speed 180 knots until 60 me. On the heading cleared. ILS approach runway 24. Report established.
Ryan 210 degrees on that heading cleared. ILS 24. Port established. Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So speed check. Flaps 1.
And Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo 180 knots until 60 me.
180 till 6, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. That's fine. Flap 5.
Easy 500, turn left heading 295
There we go.
degrees. Left 295.
Just wait until we're heading in the right direction again. There we are. Glide slopes alive. Correct sensing. Arming approach. Take 2, guys. 29020 gusting 35. Absolutely outrageous. So that last wind he gave then was 290 gusting up to 37. That wind there is in limits, about 30 knot crosswind. So we're okay there. Localizer, live localizer capture, 237. I just feel like a moron for leaving the auto throttle on. Glide slope capture, missed approach altitude 4,000 feet set. Ugh, this weather. But yeah, that was extremely well pointed out, because I was wondering why on earth did I forget to disconnect the auto throttle. The reason was because the autopilot kicked out, and in my head I thought it was all disconnected. So HMS Daring 1 was bang on there, really well observed. Stay on target. Nice little Star Wars
Rider 5
reference
Delta
there.
Victor left heading 2
Flat 10.
2,500.
And this is noted. Absolutely Shark Tails. Hey, what's the safest option? Well, at all times, and don't forget, all approaches are flown to a go around. A landing is a bonus. So obviously we floated down the runway. I passed the touchdown zone, wondering why on earth I was still floating, because the auto throttle was maintaining the speed. I decrabbed and then it was just a mess. So yeah, just can it, another go. That's why we've taken all this extra fuel.
Rider 2 Sierra Bravo, just confirm fully established.
Sorry, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, fully established.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, you can contact tower now 118.7, your number 1.
1187, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Hopefully I won't see you again. Bye. I meant that in the nicest possible way. Shannon Tower, hello again, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. Established ILS 24, approaching 5 miles.
Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo, Shannon, hello again. Runway 24, you're clear to land. Surface wind still remains the same, 29 degrees, 20 gusts, 35 max.
Clear land runway 24, Alpaca 2 Sierra Bravo. So 290 gusting 35, it's about a 27 knot crosswind, in limits, 5 knots below there. That's really rude. Yeah, hopefully that means it's in a missed approach. I hope you understood that. Right, geared out, flat 15, match speed, landing checklist. Start switch is continuous. Sorry Andy, you fired recall check, speed brake arm green light, landing gear down 3 green, order brake is set to 3, flat 30. Want a nice increment between the two here. That headwind component is about 21 knots, so the full increment of about 15 will be needed, and then we'll just keep it in limits. There we are, flaps 30 green light, lights are on. I'll pop the wipers just in case the sim makes it rain again, short notice. There we are, checks complete.
1,000.
Checked. Should we do it, guys? Take 2. 737 people watching. How apt. Disconnect autopilot, disconnect auto throttle. There we are, my aircraft now. Unbelievable last time. So you can see how the wind's changing, 20 knots at the moment. Just keep making those inputs to keep it all within limits. Speed, rate of descent, glide slope's getting a little bit higher there, so just try and set about 1,000 feet per minute. It's a little bit excessive, that rate of descent. But in these conditions, the rate of descent's constantly changing. You've got updrafts, downdrafts, wind changing from side to side. I think in reality, I've been making much more positive inputs with these conditions. I'm still making quite a lot of positive inputs, but the speed is quite stable. The speed would be up and down a lot more in these conditions. It's reasonably speed stable. Right,
300.
checked. Speed's okay. Just keep it coming down now. Still between VREF and the white dot. Speed's nice and stable now. 22 knots across.
Plus 100.
Checked.
200.
Checked.
Minimum.
Continue. Damn you, Storm Barra. Good luck to all my friends out tonight. Checked, a little bit high. Let's watch the rate of descent.
50. 40. 30.
Check.
20.
Close.
10.
Hold the attitude. Crosswind. Decrab. Oh, that was a bit low on that wing. Right, speed breaks up. Aileron into wind. Reverses. Yeah. It was fine. It's fine, but a little bit low on that wing. It would have been safe. Speed breaks up. 100. Full left rudder at the moment. Full left rudder 80. Manual braking. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shannon. Oh, that was absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness me.
Sierra Bravo, welcome to Shannon, left turn Alpha, standard choice.
Left turn Alpha, standard choice, up back at 2 Sierra Bravo, thank you. Here we are, we're down. Whoa, that was great. We're down here eventually. That was wicked. I hope you enjoyed it as well, guys. Right, flaps coming up. We'll put the wipers to intermittent. There we are. Landing lights can come off. And we can now do the cleanup. So we're going to do the return sector, guys. I'll reset the trim to 4 units. Auto brake to off. Transponder to out off. Flight directors can come off. 4,100. Reset to 100 knots. Engine anti-ice will leave on until we're on stand. Probe can come off as well. Got master caution probe. Oh, that was crazy. Really enjoyable though. Right, let's mute the alerts. Oh look, it's like an Alpaca Airways hub here. We just need to find a free stand. My goodness. Let's have a look here. So we're coming in off our Alpha. They're all taken. Look at this weather. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, that landing wasn't as bad as I think it was. The problem was I let the wing dip, but it's quite hard in the sim. In reality, you can feel and make the adjustments a lot more naturally. We'll go for stand 30. Big request if you want to join in on the return sector. If you're watching, please choose another stand. I think there's plenty of others. Oh, we're not out of the woods yet. Oh gosh, didn't start the APU. Oh dear. Look at this rain. It looks epic. This is just so cool. Gonna keep OpenGL on, I think. Thanks, Lee Strobes.
Sir, task to Imishman, return 117.
This is just epic. I love it. I was sort of saying some things which are different, but it did a fantastic job in modelling what it's like to fly in these conditions. That was a last minute change. Left? What? Are you sure? No, I don't believe you. I think it's not April Fool's Day. God, look at the lightning now as well. You sure, bud?
Thanks, sir. We'll get ready for the hover call. Thank you.
You're gonna get squished soon. Oh, to be fair, that is where it is. He's just standing very close. There we are. Outrageous. Right, parking brake is set. We've got AP available. There we are. 2 blues, 1 red, engine's dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
50,
for the first
40,
ever time to
30,
Shannon Airport.
20,
Absolutely
10,
crazy out there. Engine anti-ice come off, pulling on stand. Thank you to whoever that was.
That was brilliant fun and the F-bombs ream can in the Bombay.
50.
Did I swear? Maybe I did, Dominic, I'm not sure.
20.
I probably did. Thank you very much for the $5. Great fun there. Thank you as well, Pete S, for the £10. Really
Time to take a breath now. Glass of water.
a glass of water. I think something a little stronger needed in those conditions. Absolutely crazy. Thank you very much, Tom Pascoe, for the $5 as well. Very kind as well. Pete S, sorry, thank you for the tenner as well. Guys, very generous of you. Don't ever feel like you have to do anything. Just enjoy the show. I have as much fun creating this content as I'm sure it's much fun for you, many of you watching as well. So awesome stuff. Only halfway through, and I'm really happy. Never would say this in real life, but the weather came alive at the end there. Absolutely crazy conditions at the end there. Really, really windy, right on limits. I missed approach because of an error I made, but remember, that's always the safest course of action.
Hard work.
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed the stream carried. It must take some nerves of steel to land a jet in weather like that.
Oh,
Greater than.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you, Route 40, for the £8.58. Thank you very much. In the sim, you know, it's very relaxing. I'm at home in my warm office, you know, stroking my dog. In real life, these conditions are hard, and I can assure you that we don't enjoy flying in these conditions. There's a lot of pressure on you to keep everything within limits, diversions, stressful as well. But we're trained to deal with it. And when these conditions come, and when you pull it off, when you land on the ground, nice feel of satisfaction. And I can assure you, as passengers, everything is done safely at all times. We never allow any limit to be exceeded, and if we can't get in, we go somewhere where we know we can. So there you go. Nice to have got down safely. Right, we better actually do the checklist for the last time, because we're not going to do it on the way back. So I'll have the transit shutdown checklist, please, Andy.
Shutdown checklist: electrical,
APU,
fasten belts,
off,
probe heat,
off,
anti-ice,
off,
voice recorders
is on,
air conditioning packs,
on,
engine bleed,
off,
APU
on,
bleed,
off,
exterior lights,
set,
start switches,
off,
auto brake,
off,
speed brake,
down detents,
flaps,
up no lights,
parking brake,
set,
start levers,
cut off,
weather radar,
is off,
transponder,
coming to 2000 standby,
CVR circuit breaker,
in,
cockpit door,
unlocking.
shutdown checklist complete.
Thank you very much, Andy, for your assistance today, and then we can offload the passengers, and they're all vomit everywhere. For usual stuff. No, I'm only joking. Awesome.
40,
Andy
30,
M71, thank you very
20,
much. That's
10.
very kind. This is Andy, you just heard, the first officer.
Oh, I see. It's me that's fired when it was you who forgot to disconnect the auto throttle. That's it. I'm going on strike. Nice landing though, boss.
Thank you so much, Andy. That was absolutely brilliant. A lovely gesture as well. The comments absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for the $5. Yes, I can't believe I forgot to disconnect the auto throttle. I feel like a complete... what was the word I used? Was it noob? Maybe it was something a little ruder when I went around. I can't wait to watch that later. But no, the missed approach was the right decision. Safest course of action at all times. Thank you very much, Andy. That's very kind. Right then, guys, so we're going to have a look at the replay, see how bad it looked like from the outside. Let me just kill off Fly Live here, and what I'll do after the replay is complete, I'll then put you back to the Be Right Back screen. Just give me 5-10 minutes to have a quick break, get everything set up for the return sector, and then we're going to do it all again. Matches, what was the word I used? Imbecile. It was noob, can confirm. Maybe I used imbecile as well, I don't know. Imbecile would have been fitting. Sweet, let's do that. ATC's been fantastic as well, really realistic and Shannon here. So that's disconnected, and we'll turn off the music there, cue the usual funky replay music. There we are. So let's put ourselves back here on the approach. Well, that was a good place to start. Let's go a little bit further back. I won't go all the way back to the missed approach because sometimes can be a bit buggy, but you can see there's the crab already because of the crosswind. That's better. So there's that crab. So there's the check close hold. The runway's a bit downslope here. There's the left rudder coming in. I just hit the gear a little bit too early. So ideally, if I do a little bit of a slow-mo, what I did here, the rudder was nice. The rudder timing was good. There's the left rudder coming in. Aircraft swinging into wind. And I'm putting aileron into wind here, but a little bit too early. And I touched down a little bit early there. So quite late, actually, maybe, with the crab. And then the speed brakes come up. And the key thing is just to keep the wings level. So I had the aileron coming into wind. There's the aircraft crabbing, or to the left. It's being pushed by the wind. It's quite common, especially when the runway's wet because it's slippy. And then I'm just using rudder now to maintain. So I'm keeping the aileron into wind. There you go. And there's my aileron input. Let's do it with the controls.
2500.
So here's my inputs.
30.
There's the flare.
20.
So there's my left rudder, and look at me put the aileron into wind there. So that, in reality, the wing would have been a little bit easier, I think, to keep the wings level. But pretty happy with how that worked. Let's have a little look at that from a different perspective. Yeah, it's a bit of a cocky runway. I love how the rain goes up when you do a replay backwards. There you go. That's the best one there. Look, the aircraft's pointing right towards the camera with the crab. There we are. Downwind rudder, just touched down on the gear. Ah, that's actually not bad. I was being a bit tough on myself. Listen to that wind. You can hear it in the sim. Horrible conditions. Amazing. Right, well, what I'm going to do is just put you in the wing view so you can enjoy the last little bit of the landing, and then vacating the runway. I'll then throw you back to the Be Right Back screen. It will just take me about 5-10 minutes to get it set up for the next sector. If you are enjoying the stream so far, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, and I'll see you all shortly for the return sector to Birmingham. See you later, guys.
Why me? You don't even know me.
Because what I've seen, I've liked. And I got a good feeling about you.
And on the count of three.
Make a wish. 1111, make a wish.
Well, I see the weather's improved in the intermission. Not. Welcome back, guys. Thanks a lot for that little break as we sit here in an absolutely archaic Shannon. Thunderstorms, CBs, heavy rain. We've got an Etihad A340. He got it down nicely. Very good to him. Good job to him. Yes, looking forward to the return sector in Birmingham. I'm just having a little look at the weather. We'll grab the ATIS in a second if it's available. Birmingham, thankfully, it's not too bad, 250 at 11, but they do still have some tempos for 250 gusting 27, which is a full crosswind there. But yeah, absolutely peeing it down here in Shannon. That's awesome livery there, the Etihad A340. We've got Dash 8s here as well, which I think they're from FlyJSim, or the one for Prepared, but we've got Alpaca Cargo greeting a DHL 757. I think that's actually a static aircraft. We'll let him off there as well. This is a freeware scenery. It's a bit simple, but it's nice to have all the stands correct with the gates as well. And if you look in the video description, you'll find all the information about where to get that as well. He still hasn't moved from his position, but we'll now jump into the cockpit, get the aircraft set up for the return sector. So doors open, and we can terminate flight leg. I will imagine we've started boarding through the gate again. Is that an A340 in the background? It was, John. Andy listens to that radar, absolutely. I think, did I say that already? Can't remember. Domino Messina, whoa, 3 new things to add. 1, routing problems. 2, excuses. 3, blame Andy. Absolutely, yeah. Bingo cards. Can be added to the bingo cards straight away. Sky, the Airbus guy in me is struggling to understand the danger. Ooh, I don't know what that was referring to. Susie, thank you for your continued support as a member. I think I might have just missed that before I had my break. Cool, so let's have a little listen and see what the weather's doing. There is ATIS available. 13095. There we are. And fortunately not available. Oh, it is.
At time 1700 Zulu, expect ILS approach runway 24 and use runway 24 and use. Transition level 65, wind 290 degrees 13 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers clouds. View at 1,200 feet. View at cumulonimbus 1,800 feet. Temperature 5, 2.1 QNH 1000. Nosig. Advise on initial contact. You have information Golf.
There we are, so we've copied information Golf. So you can hear lightning in the background. There's a setting in active sky where if you have CB's forecast or on the METAR, it generates a thunderstorm. Now, CBs aren't necessarily a thunderstorm, usually a cloud you want to avoid, but a thunderstorm on the ATIS is very different to a CB on the ATIS. A thunderstorm is what we're sort of getting now, you know, probably not going to go anywhere for a while. So we can reset the clock. Let's bring up the operational flight plan for sector number 2. Here we are. So, checking the weather in Birmingham, it's actually not that bad, guys. Because of the tempo with the strong crosswind, we take extra fuel, but it's forecast for it to be in limits the whole time. Looking at our alternates, we'd be discussing this, you know, on stand with your colleague. East Midlands is our alternate, so let's have a look at the weather at Echo Golf November X-ray. Let me just get my weather thing here. So 240 at 22 knots. They do have forecast 250 to be at 29 knots, so worst case, again, that's within limits, so that's okay. Manchester, similar, but the wind is still down the runway, so Manchester would be a decent alternate. She needs slightly less fuel to get there as well. Stansted's fine. 220 at 12. So we could stick fuel in for Manchester as our alternate. I'd just be going for 30 minutes extra. And plus weather avoidance on departure of any CBs. So 1200 kilos, the usual we take is fine. You don't have to go too crazy with the weather. So that'll be 5, let's go 5.8 on the fuel. So it's fuel waiting. Excuse me. There's a new bug in the ZIBO mod I've just discovered. I'll have a look at that in a second. Unbelievable. Did you see 50, me fly that?
40,
5.7.
30.
What did I say?
20.
I can't remember now. 5.7. 5.9 on the fuel. Going crazy. 5.9.
Think my lunch did a go around too. Top stuff toe.
Thank you very much. My cruppish for the £1.79. Oh dear. call the clear zone, make sure we get on our way there. Top stuff, thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, it was a bit of a bouncy approach, that's for sure. Wow, well, look at that. So we've actually pretty close to having that in the tanks already because we took so much fuel on the way down. Right, landing great, approach rating bad. So, okay, I think gear not down below 1,000 feet. I think that's to do with the missed approach. You can let me off that one. High glide slope deviation, yes. The weather, not set landing flat below 500. That'll be the missed approach. 2 of those points are a missed approach. I think let's recognise those as faults on the approach. But yeah, I think we might have actually a couple of times had a higher rate of descent because of those winds. It's just make sure you make that correction to correct straight away. High glide slope deviation. I think we might have just got a bit of an updraft there at that point there. So yeah, 2 of those are let off. So it'll upgrade it from bad to average at least. The landing. Why didn't I get 5 stars for landing? This is important stuff, guys. How do I get to the landing stars? I want to know why I only got 4 stars out of 5 stars. Unbelievable. I don't think you can view it. Oh, well. I'm very upset for ZIBO. We're going to have words. Right. Got the fuel all done. Still got 10 kilos in the centre. There's our 5.8. We got the weather. MF rate, we'll set that to 1,020. God, that rain. Fiddly. And now time to load up flight management computer. So this is OFP number 2, Shannon to Birmingham. So we start on the EINN page, check all the information. We're now in Shannon, Echo India November. It'd be quite cool to have route 2, otherwise I would have loaded in the FMS. Not that I had much time on the way into Shannon. That was a very intensive sector. Call sign is now Alpaca for Sierra Bravo. I have updated FlyLive, so you should get all the information there. Oh no, I still have the wrong call sign. Just change that, guys. There you go. Looking for Sierra Bravo, and we just need to put it in here. Departure, runway 24. The SID will be a Abagu 3 Bravo. Let's try and insert the route correctly this time. Abagu, direct Slaney.
50, 40, 30, 20,
and
10.
Next. Tom, thank you very much for the £5. Very kind of you, sir. Appreciate it.
Loving the video as always, Captain.
Thank you.
Are the rudder inputs required to keep on the center line in X-plane realistic? I was practicing crosswind touch and goes last weekend for the first time in the sim and couldn't believe how much rudder was required.
Thank you very much, Tom F, for the £5. So yeah, they're actually not too far off. When you're flying in strong crosswind conditions on the limit, so 33 knots, you know, you have to make quite significant rudder inputs to keep the aircraft, when you're decrabbing that is, there's still enough rudder available as well. There's always, you know, there's very important speeds in aviation, especially with single engine as well. There's always enough rudder authority, so long as you're flying at the correct speeds that's been calculated to ensure that the aircraft can be flown. But when you're doing, say, single engine go-arounds, when you're going quite slow, so the rudder's not as effective, you're very close to the full maximum rudder input that's required. So you do need to use it with strong crosswind conditions to keep the aircraft in trim. It's really not that bad. It's not exactly the same, but it's good. It's quite good at replicating the rudder that's required, certainly in the ZIBO mod anyway, with the real 737. Thanks for your donation. And again, I must stress, guys, if you're training to be a line pilot on your type rating, you know, don't use these simulators for a rough idea of how it feels. There are differences, but they are very good at replicating what's needed. Sorry, we got all the routing in. Fixie 1 Bravo, ILS 33, that'll be via Grove, I think. Or maybe Maple. We'll just join the dots. Fixie, yeah, Grove, and then just the centre Vic. So in Birmingham, it's been a while since I operated here, but you'd get vectors after Grove onto the ILS, expecting runway 3 today. So that's all fine for now. We'll activate that. We'll execute. We'll keep the passenger weight the same, 55.7, so 145 passengers. Reserves we'll use for Manchester, so it is C2, is pretty much, well, it's a little bit less than these bids, but if we just use 2.1 tonnes. That'll be fine for us to get to Manchester. Cost index 30, cruising at 35,000 feet on the return sector, so that's executed. Steep descent after Grove, we'll look at that later. That's quite common. 35,000 feet. Elevation in Birmingham is 339 feet, so we'll set 350. Top of climb wind. So give a 350, there it is, 327.90. Blowing a hoolie. Average wind, which I don't think I did last sector.
Minimums.
Average wind is 321 at 63, so we'll punch that in. Many miles, thank you very much for your 10 months as a member. Hello, Captain. It was fun seeing Jack in the Thrustmaster TCA video. Thank you very much, buddy, for your donation. Yeah, it was. I just thought about it. My goodness. I just thought about adding him because a lot of people always ask, like, can I see Jack and stuff, and it was really cool. Thrustmaster actually emailed back, said your dog is wicked. He's so cool. They really like the video, so yeah, I'll make sure he features in more in the future. Thanks, man. Average of 321 at 63. There we are. It's just slightly adjusted the ETA. ISA deviation, top climb ISA +3. Oops, just need to execute that. Don't have any performance data for Shannon. I'm going to go full 24k again, especially in these conditions. Flat 5 CG, 6 units of trim needed now. Setting that here. Tom, thanks for the answer. Sadly, I only fly desk in real life. Well, that's fine then. You can make any advice I give you. You can use it in a desktop sim. That's fine. Now trim set and V speeds are wet speeds. 25, 34, 143. So 143 knots is set. Perfect. Overhead panel. That's all configured. Fueling's complete. Seatbelt sign on. And we use wing and engine anti-ice on for departure. Lighting is set. So, heading and courses. The SID will be a Abagu 3 Bravo. So we can get rid of the star charts. Let's grab the SID. Abagu 3 Bravo. Did I select the right one? Nope. There we are. So, Shannon view, I'll make that active, 13.3. That's what the initial turn is based on. Welcome. It's actually RNAV points, but initial climb clearance will be 5,000 feet, so I'll set 5,100. And it does say here, max 185 knots at 500 feet, so quite soon after departure we're going to make a left turn inbound to Adderoo. I've got the wrong arrival. No, that's fine. It is Adderoo first, after Adderoo. And then it's a left turn, 100 degrees on the Abagu 3 Bravo to Abagu. So, a thing to note here is max 185 knots, just for that initial turn. We're going to have to hold it at flap 5, just to make sure we don't overspeed this. If you start retracting the flaps to up, you'll obviously have to accelerate, but because it's a max 185 knots, we'll hold it at flap 5, unless you have a briefing in your airline's documentation which says you can exceed it, or you have approval to exceed it, or confirm with ATC. Otherwise we'll hold flat 5 there for that initial turn. So that's it, and then all these waypoints are based off radials and distances of Shannon VOR, so happy with that. So taxi was the only thing. I skipped out taxi, guys, sorry about that. Push back facing southeast, out most likely out, is it Delta here, and then all the way to Delta 2 for runway 24. Cool, right, let's get the APU. No, APU's running on the bus. I think it's still time we get the clearance. So we've got tower online, 118.7.
Roger, we see the Air Lingus push the start approved from stand 39, Packer 7 Kilo Sierra, QNH 1000.
Dave, I'd be terrified when there are thunderstorms and I'm in an aeroplane. We keep wide berth, Dave. Wide berth. Just give me 2 seconds, just sending a quick message to someone. Sorry about that. Cool. Right, yes, grab our clearance.
Delta 1, Delta 2, hold short runway 24.
Caution reference to 738, that'll be pushing on your right hand side, should be no
Why do I
factor.
have these green lines here? Is that some sort of VOR fix? That's an option in the mod I've got on. I need to disable that.
Seabird 525 behind the departing Alpaca 737.
Ground contact with copy to driving up.
Oh, Amy's here again. Look at this weather.
Line up and right on it. Behind.
PG, is this a return leg? Yes.
It was factor. Seabird 525, just to confirm. Line up and wait, runway 24, behind. Roger, right, line up and wait. Behind 737. It was factor.
Hello, Alpaca for Sierra Bravo. Copy information, Golf 1000 hectopascals, departure clearance Birmingham, please.
Fort Sierra Bravo, Shannon, good afternoon, Golf is correct. You're cleared back to Birmingham, a Bagu 3 Bravo departure off of runway 24. Initially it'll be 5,000 feet on the squawk 663.
Golf and Hodges are clear. Ready to connect.
Amy! It's the Abagu 3 Bravo, runway 24, climb 5,000 feet, and just confirm squawk 6630. Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo.
6635.
6635, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo.
4 Sierra Bravo, read back is correct.
Perfect, 5,000 feet. Abagu 3 Bravo, and squawk 6635.
487, have a 7-3 on your left, pushing, I'll call you back. Roger, hold position for right now, 487.
Perfect.
Alpaca 575, contact Shannon now, 121.4.
Great to have ATC. Love it on Vanson. So much more immersive.
All stations, information hotel is now clear. Current, no significant change, information hotel.
Perfect, so same weather. What was I was about to do something. I feel like I've forgotten something. Oh yeah, it was to get rid of these fixed rings. Right, well, I think we're all ready to go, so if you bleed on.
Tower, good evening.
Open the isolation valve.
Extend 24, request push it start. Alpaca 296, push and start approved, Shannon QNH 1000. Push start approved, QNH 1000, Alpaca 296. Rescue 117, you ready to land? Fine, sir. Happy for hotel 2.
Need to get out of here, guys, because there'll be a bit of a queue otherwise, but we're in a good position here.
Rescue 117, hotel 2 works for me. You're cleared to cross the runway 24 midpoint. You can report
This
vacated
weather,
and
absolutely
confirm
awesome.
you want the hover taxi.
I'm just
from
going to put the
hotel
weather on. Okay, this, you wouldn't do this on stamp, but just see what's being painted. I can't see anything that would be replicating it first.
Roger, Rescue 117. You can report get vacated from runway 24 midpoint, cleared to set down at hotel 2.
Yes, Tom, I know. No, it was to get rid of these green dashed lines. It's an option in the mod. And a real 737 apparently. At Tau Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, and we'd like to request push and start from stand 30 in sequence.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. You happy enough to do a straight back?
A firm Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo.
4 Sierra Bravo, thanks. Push and start is approved. Straight.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Push start approved, straight push Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. That's fine by me, and we do that.
525, small
A lot of airlines
just
do
have a
that as well,
rescue
so.
helicopter crossing the runway.
Ah.
Tail is connected. Alpha spinning started. Who does the parking brake when
Lights
ready?
off, anti-collision light on, parking brake set, transponder out off. Checks complete. Let's go back to Birmingham. Yeah, doors.
Okay, diving professional and your main activated.
Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot, push and start approved. QNH 1000, Pascal.
They're definitely open.
QNH 1000.
Oh, I'm panicking. Oh, this is why I need Andy. Andy, come back. I'm sorry. How do I can never remember where to find it as well. I opened them during the intermission. Boston, he's got a long flight. Doors closed, there
Okay,
you go.
75, stand by, I'll call you back for clearance. Brake, Speedbird 525, runway 24, you're cleared for takeoff. Surface winds check 280 degrees 13 knots.
How's the wind? It was calmed down. We just had to be mental whilst we were landing.
Alpaca 7 Kilo Sierra, request taxi. Alpaca 7 Kilo Sierra, just have
Yep, brilliant.
2 company aircraft push.
I know I did, Andy. N2.
Alright, no problem.
Oh yeah, sorry. N2. Oil pressure.
Runner 129, runway
N1.
24, line up point.
Airline runway 24, Ryanair 129.
He's very chill right there, pilot. Oh, honey, there's our home suitcases. Brilliant, Richie. Yeah, I just want to turn off these. It's going to be impossible to find this. Starter cut out. Monitoring number 2. 2, 4, 6, 3. 2 stable. Starting 1. McAllis, yeah, I've reverted to OpenGL. I'm not using Vulkan anymore. And I've actually not noticed much of a performance difference, so I'm quite happy to use it now. Otherwise you won't get the ski effects with Vulkan. Head 2. Head 1.
Operation is now complete. Please set the backing brake.
Low pressure.
Disconnecting tail, please stand by.
Oh, a couple of aircraft might get blocked ourselves here.
Shannon, how good evening. I'll pack a flight close to down 2523.
Suck out 1 and 2 stable.
Back at 550, hello, you clear to Birmingham.
Would do this in reality, but I'm actually going to do it before taxi flow a little bit earlier, just because we're holding up everyone here on the stream. So we have to obviously wait for the bypass pin to be seen before we do this in reality. Flaps to 5, flight controls, forwards.
Back at 550, you're clear to Birmingham, a bag of 3 Bravo.
And rudders, right.
Tail is disconnected, bypass pin has been removed, and the pin will be on the left. Have a safe
Trying to
flight,
take off
yes,
there.
sir.
Bye again, Amy, thanks for coming with us. Pretty cool, there we are. We're ready to taxi.
550, correct, brake runner 129, runway 22, correction, runway 24, you're clear to take off, the wind 28 degrees 13 knots.
Also, these lights are a lot more, well, actually to be fair, the LEDs are quite good, but the conventional lights are rubbish. Right, bypass pins all seen with the
Alpaca 875, thanks for your patience. You cleared to Boston, 1 Bravo, departure, runway 24.
doors open now, we know he's a Lava Airways pilot, unbelievable.
Clear to Boston, 3 Bravo, departure, squawk 6637.
What was that, a Banana 3 Bravo?
5000, Alpaca 875 heavy.
Oh, it's an Alpaca.
875 heavy, correct.
The Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, request taxi. Or
Sierra Bravo, roger, taxi apron, left Delta 1, Delta 2, hold short runway 24.
Apron, Delta 1, Delta 2, and hold short runway 24, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. I knew I'd forgotten something earlier. I didn't finish this, all about RTO, reset trim we did, and rudder on trim as well. So yeah, thanks guys, that's why I have checks. Right, park release, config.
Follow the company ahead via Delta 1, Delta 2, hold short runway 24.
Also, as we're doing a steep turn, you don't want any thrust on the inboard side.
Alpaca 7 Kilo Sierra, follow the company. Delta 1, Delta 2, hold short runway 24. Follow the company, Delta 1, Delta 2, hold short runway 24, Alpaca 7 Kilo Sierra. Runner 4, 7, 1 clear of the Alpaca 738, which will be taxied to your left, pushing south approved. Shannon QNH 1000.
There we are, so there's Delta 1, Delta 2 hold point here, it's the only way you can go. Flight. Yeah, jeebus.
Runner 487.
That's why I need Andy. So yeah, basically, I think I was doing it funny. You know when I said I think I've forgotten something? It was basically the overhead panel. I did, and then I didn't do the rest. I didn't do the MCP. I didn't. I set the heading and courses, but I didn't do the rest. That's what I was thinking. Well, the yellow line isn't very accurate, so I'm not going off in that direction. I'm just going to make a left turn here.
Somewhere else, back at 5 Mike Foxtrot, ready for taxi. Back at 5 Mike Foxtrot, call you back. Shamrock 5 Kilo Fox, the surface switch checks 28 degrees 13 knots, runway 24.
Horrible evening. Really struggling without Andy, I know. I've gotten so used to Andy being here with my checklist. To be fair, you don't check the flight director status on the autopilot, but yeah, because we do briefings.
Bravo, I can offer you an intersection Charlie departure if you're available.
Able Charlie, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo.
4 Sierra Bravo, running.
Perfect. Yeah, my operator, we do all our obviously every airline does briefings, and in the briefing we check the flight director status, We then brief the taxi to sit, skipping that out, as I just do on the second sector. It's open shop for errors. Mick stopped gaming. How long have you been a 737 pilot? About 10 years ago, I started my type rating. In fact, 10 years ago, to this day, I'd have been in the middle of my type rating. Crazy.
Alpha 4122, can we clear left? Negative, continue approach, runway 24. Okay, continue approach, Shannon, Alpha 412. Sharmak 5 Kilo Foxtrot, contact Shannon 121.4.
Departure 121.4, 5 Kilo Foxtrot, bye-bye.
Okay, it's a bit elevator lighting. So already taxiing here, the wind's...
5 Mike Foxtrot. You can follow the company.
Wind's died down a little bit. You can still feel it pushing on the rudder, which is quite risky. So I'm not making any inputs on the rudder or telly. See how it's just swinging to the turn? That's the wind pushing on the rudder. It's quite nicely modelled and explained.
And I'll back a 5-5 Zulu. Were you calling for push?
So Charlie's coming up. We'll take left.
I'll back a 5-5 Zulu. Roger. Once cleared the company on your right to left. Push and start is approved. QNH 1000.
Oh, we've got figures for Charlie. That's fine. There's another lit taxiway. Just got to be a little bit more vigilant. We'll just do the before takeoff checklist. So config, it's just stopped raining, which is nice. Config, I'll leave the wipers on though. So config checked, flaps, we've got 5 green lights, stab 6 units set. Take off breathing, packs, auto bleeds on, V speeds are set for departure. 25, 34, 43 set.
You can taxi via the apron, hold short a beam, stand
Abagu 3 Bravo, straight ahead, 500 feet left turn to Adaru, max 185 knots that turn, and then we go to Abagu, stop altitude 5,000 feet, which is set twice. NADP 2, any problems will climb straight ahead to 4,000 feet. Well, imagine the cabin secure, checks complete.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, you ready for an immediate departure?
Fully ready, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, roger, traffic's on a 5.5 mile
Oof, tight.
Via Charlie, runway 24, clear takeoff, surface wind 28 degrees 13.
Runway 24, clear immediate takeoff, via Charlie, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. So, rolling start then, so TARA, so MCP set, transponder is TARA, strobe lights are on, landing lights are on, checks complete, Toga's in chat, let's go back to Birmingham.
November Alpha 412, caution weight turbulence, there'll be a 737-800. Departing prior, expect late landing here.
So, timing, in the mod, the engines spool up a lot quicker than the real aircraft. We do love rolling takeoffs here at Flight Deck Sim. Stabilise, set takeoff thrust. I'll leave the wipers. Oh, here we go. Now it started raining. I hope it's been sufficient. Takeoff thrust set indications normal.
80 knots.
Check. Release forward pressure. Oh, nose is coming up a bit early. V1 should be doing that.
Rotate.
There we are, 2 to 2.5 degrees per second, and there's the aileron to keep the wings level. There we are. Okay, it's coming up. Whoa, it's a bit turbulent still.
Runway 24.
400.
LNAV. There's a left turn at 500 feet. We bug up. Remember that speed 185 knots, maximum speed. Let's bug that.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, contact Shannon,
1-1.4, thanks a lot for the ATC. Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, bye. So speed check flaps 1, but we're going to have to hold it at flap 1 to maintain 185 knots. There's nothing on the weather radar. There's a bit of a silly scale to have actually. I want to be able to scan, but there's nothing I can see. Shannon approach, hello, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. We're on the Abagu 3 Bravo, passing 2,500 for altitude 5,000 feet.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, identified on departure, climb full level 9 is 0, route direct to Slaney.
Climb flight level 90, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, and direct Slaney. Any speed?
Negative 3 speed.
3 speed Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. So 90 set, we can now bug up because we're now 3 speeds. Trying to follow the flight directors and hand fly and selecting flaps up. Let's go command here and direct Slaney. Execute. L nav's engaged. Waiting for flaps up now. So flaps up, no lights, set standard. We should have done that already. And V nav, 3 speed, so we can actually even delete the 250 below 100. Executed. Oh, look at this weather! Horrible tailwind of 46 knots. Standard set, passing 5-4 flight level 90 after takeoff checklist. So gears off, water brakes off. Lead engine anti-ice on, start switches on as well. So air conditioning and pressurization is all set. Release the crew. There we are, check's complete. So weather-wise, a little bit of a cell to the left, we'll keep clear of that. Cell to the right, otherwise our track is good. That's some gnarly weather, really gnarly. Great fun departing in it. After takeoff checklist is complete. Oh, mega. Nice shortcut from ATC. Oops, I've got airports on. There we are. So, there's Dublin.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, contact Shannon Control now 131 decimal. 00 flight.
Contact Shannon 13115, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, bye. Just turn these sounds down a little bit. There we are. Now we can hear ATC clearly. And just go vertical speed, so approaching our cleared flight level.
Air Canada 9er, when ready, descend flight level 170. When ready, descend 170, Canada 9er.
Shannon Centre, hello, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, climbing flight level 90, inbound Slaney, request flight level 350 cruise.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, hello, Shannon Control identified, climb flight level 350.
Climb flight level 350, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. So 350, set, VNAV, and that's our final cruise level, set 3 times, so we're out of cloud now, empty ice off. There we are, check's complete. This is great. It's been awesome flying around in storms. Who would like to see me streaming more storms in the future? It's been epic. Hi Plane Elite, ski effects are back. How is OpenGL performance wise for you? Really good. Pleasantly surprised. I actually compared the FPS, 4 or 5 FPS difference, but things I noticed, the textures crisper. OpenGL obviously allows me to have the ski rain effects as well, and also the loading time so much quicker. I can load up in other areas now, not like what makes True Earth takes so long on Vulcan, 10-15 minutes. It took a couple of minutes, so I'm actually going to stick to it. Anyway, post cruise checks, fuel 4 pumps, we've just got 10 kilos in the centre, that should be sucked up. We have less than half tanks, so we'll leave the center tank pumps off. Lights off. Logo can come off as well. Is that for me? Pressurization 4.2 set. Lead passengers on recall. Checks complete. Matt 5778. How do you decide when to put engine anti-ice or wing anti-ice on? It all depends on the icing criteria. Engine anti-ice on whenever in icing conditions. Wing anti-ice is very much like visible moisture, or sorry, visible icing on the windscreen. I have a tutorial on that, Matt 5778. If you type in flight deck to sim wing and engine anti-ice, I'm sure you'll find the tutorial that way on Google, which is a little bit more in depth. How do I turn off this fix rings? I don't like those. How do they even turn on? I want to turn off these green dashed lines. I don't like that. Systems. There's the option for the MCP panel, guys, if you want it. Displays. Someone in chat will perhaps know. Or I could just detune the VOR, that's the easiest way to get rid of it. But it's quite cool to have Shannon VOR on. Mr. Coyote, hello. What was your weather? Add-on use. It's beautiful and scary. Active sky. ASXB.
Runway 845, nothing further for you now. Unicom 162 decimal 8. Further climb at your discretion. Good night.
Thank you, but Unicom runway 845.
Where is this going to be systems or FMS, surely? Intervent. It's just those little
River
things.
525, speed 280 knots or greater.
Ah! NDVR radial course off. There we are, done it. Just need to make sure I've saved this config now.
Flight level 170.
Save all config. There we are.
170, Ryanair 170.
Anyway, looking ahead.
Ryanair 129.
Weather looking good.
60 knots.
Mixed to be going. Don't need to use caps. I tried my best to read them all. Why shouldn't I be afraid of flying? I ask because I have a flight tomorrow first event and my nerves are shot. Mixed up gaming. It's completely natural to feel scared of flying. 1 in 3 people are. Obviously it's a unique sensation and the media, whenever there is an incident in aviation, love to cover it in immense detail and speculation. But aviation need not be reminded that it's the safest form of transportation. It's so heavily regulated, so many additional checks. You think how many flights there are and how many accidents there are. I'm not putting you off by saying accidents. The odds of them happening extremely remote. Lottery winning odds, so you needn't have anything to worry about. And yeah, it's not just natural to feel that, but you'll be excited, I'm sure, when you get on the aircraft there. Yeah, sorry about the VATSIM audio, guys. I'll turn that down slightly. We should be touching down in Birmingham. Just need to make some changes in the approach there in about 40 minutes. Rebel Jew, do you set up your flight plan in Active Sky to get the weather along your flight route? I do use that feature, so I actually put I'm flying between these two airports. I don't exactly know what it does though. Someone here will be able to probably tell us, but I always put the routing information in Active Sky. I guess it helps in some way. Tim Fraser, thank you for the £10, bud.
Great stream as always, mate. Things are looking positive for my dad. Lots of rehab.
Great to hear.
He's still with us, which is what's important.
Absolutely, Tim. Thank you very much for your £10. Tim's one of my oldest members of my channel. We were very sad to hear that his father suffered from a stroke a few days ago. Great to hear that he's recovering and things are looking positive. That's fantastic news. But it's obviously, you know, stroke is a horrible thing, and many people, I have family members who had strokes, and I think that might have been for me. No. It's a horrible thing to have, and many people can live still a perfectly normal life having suffered a stroke. So I wish you, and I'm sure all the people here in chat and all the members of the channel wish him a continued recovery. Take care, Tim. Elliot Smith, it helps pre-plan the weather along the route it's preloaded. Very cool, so I will continue to use that. Cool. Yeah, I've always used it because it's a feature, and I thought, well, I better stick that in. Dave, got to go. Thanks for the major stream. Thank you very much, buddy. Have a nice evening. Totsies. So the weather's looking far better in Birmingham. Shannon's definitely got the nasty weather. It was right when we were on the approach. It seemed to have calmed down a little bit by the time we departed. Rock Knocko, Storm Barra has been very scary. Strong winds, heavy rain, a few slates came off my roof. Thank God the worst of it's gone. I'm sorry to hear that, Rock Nico. Hope you got your slates replaced. Yeah, it was pretty shocking. It was enough for my operator to send out a couple of operational warnings to flight crew. They're nice. Well, they're great emails actually. It's just a reassurance email, just saying, you know, guys, don't forget. Look at this stuff here. Remind yourself of the limitations and things like that. But basically, we get these severe weather alerts, and you know, it tells you to anticipate delays. Unlikely. It could be possible that if you divert, it'll be off island. So, for example, diving from Ireland to the UK, or maybe from the south of the UK to France. Take additional fuel where required, subject to aircraft performance. So, you know, tanker up basically. Check the weather, review all the ops rules and stuff like that. D. Lee, what's the greatest winds aloft you've ever experienced? I think in excess of 200. I can't remember exactly. I've almost hit 600 knots ground speed. I think my highest is about 560, 570. James, have you ever watched the Barfest 1000? I haven't. Sky reassurance email sounds rad. They're basically the right way of saying it. They're just operational alerts to bring to the attention that there's some pretty horrific weather forecast. Even though I wouldn't use that word horrific lightly, but yeah, don't hesitate to take additional fuel. Hi David, Captain, hope you're well. Thank you for your help recently. Most welcome, David. Laura, not uncommon for get stormy in London for diversions to De Gaulle and Schiphol. Absolutely. Polish airports as well in the winter can have a lot of low visibility. Often, you know, I have alternates for Berlin to get all the way out there, because if it's foggy in Poland, it's usually foggy everywhere around there.
Shannon Control, good evening. Alpaca 7 Kilo server climbing.
Andy, in when like this, do you take an overnight bag in case you have to land away from base and overnight in a hotel? If it's very likely, I'd think about doing that. The cabin crew often have an overnight bag, but usually we don't, because we operate and finish our duty at home most times, unless the airlines planned it. Sometimes they plan overnights if you're positioning an aircraft, or you have to go out of base to operate an aircraft, so you know it's coming. Didi, if you need to divert to a different country, are there considerations regarding customs procedures for arriving in an unplanned country? Yes. If it's on your flight plan, AC might even expect you to go there, but if you have to go, you go. And especially with COVID now, countries have very strict COVID rules in regards to that, but we have to go, we have to go. Plan is always, usually, if we land, wait for the weather to improve, and then we'll try and get you to your destination. Mike Krupish, if there was strong enough headwind, would it be theoretical to go backwards? It's not even theoretical, you will go backwards. I mean, the speeds we're flying this, you're never going to get wind strong enough, but GA, General Aviation, when I was doing my hour building, I remember flying up to 4,000 or 5,000 feet, the winds were like 45, 50 knots, and I was going backwards. I had a ground speed of 0 knots, or going in the other direction. I'm sure someone will have done a YouTube video on that. 10 degrees. Hi Zim Zim, have just started flying X-Plane. Can't imagine ever being good enough to fly that sim. Absolutely ridiculous Zim Zim. There'll be members on the channel, subscribers on the channel, who just started joining it and they're now flying on VATSIM competently. You'll get there, buddy. You'll get there. Is there any way to get tuition, an amateur with only sim ambition, in some of these procedures? Yes, Sim Zim. So, I mean, what you're seeing me do is essentially based off loosely off my operator's SOPs. So you see we're in cloud, but we don't need engine anti-ice, guys, because it's below -40. It's too cold for ice to stick. So yeah, Zim Zim. There's a really good YouTube channel called Aviation Pro, who actually is, I think, training to be a pilot at the moment. Prior to training, he had a lot of sim videos. He has actually got some really good videos on VATSIM for beginners. And when they were recorded, he wasn't a pilot himself, but I actually looked at those videos with regards to how to get VATSIM set up, because the VATSIM is incredibly realistic with regards to RT, but the way they use controllers, if it's a bit quieter, you know, an approach controller can also control tower and ground. It's a bit of a change to me, but I understand how it works now. But check out some of his videos, they'll get you all set straight. Beatrix, would be really bad as a passenger to land in the country and can't enter due to COVID. If that was the case, we'd have to stay on the aircraft and would get you on your way, hopefully to your destination. Usually, weather will calm down unless it's something really disruptive like this. Or it's not, as flight crew, it's ops responsibility, operations control to work this out. We're just going to operate the aircraft, but we're not going to try to divert to a country where we can't due to COVID restrictions. But if we have to, we have to.
Sorry, it's the bags of Chile, my arrival, expect an ILS approach from 82 at left, descend, flight level 150.
Always dim the cabin lighting. I always forget where that is. I think it is.
Shannon, good afternoon.
Heading 100.
Always forget where this is.
SC Station Instructor 1, South Packet
Cabin,
5
yeah,
Mike
ground
Foxtrot, hello.
sources. So night lighting. Let's go for medium lighting as well.
Packet 5 Mike
There we go,
Foxtrot,
that's much better.
Hello, Shannon Control, climb flight level 330, continue on the heading. Flight level 330, continue on the heading, Packet 5 Mike Foxtrot. Star 5 Kilo Foxtrot, turn left heading 020.
Left heading 020, 5 Kilo Foxtrot.
This has been a super busy stream. This is the first time I've actually relaxed over the RSC, approaching Wales. So yeah, just doubling over there on the left. Approaching 350. Monitoring VNav.
Packet 550, hello, Shannon Control, continue climb flight level 350.
Straight to setting up for the approach, guys. 350. Get rid of the control column for now. Straight to setting up. So we're getting 3.7 tons in Birmingham.
Ryanair 129, contact approach 121.1, bye-bye.
250. 100. Steep descent up to Grove, we'll sort that out in a second. Wind at 310, 200, 100 coming in.
Traffic 5 Kilo Foxtrot, resume navigation now direct to Key 4.
As ever, anyone in chat wants to grab the weather, that's fine. You guys are my ATIS's and METAR weather recorders. Just for the QNH and see what the wind's actually doing. Echo Golf Bravo Bravo is the code. 200 is 299.35. And 100, 275.32.
5 Kilo Foxtrot, unable to keep a request vector.
Thanks, Laura Domino Mosina. Just hope Nightbot will join the party. He's been all over the place today. There we are, Birmingham. Ooh, picked up a little bit. 250 gusting 23. Varying between 220 and 290. So it could be a full crosswind here, guys. Broken at 1900, 5 degrees, 9 and 2. So the pressure's risen slightly. That's a good sign. That's executed. Preset QNH on the EFIS panel.
Ryanair 2 Papa Romeo, just some traffic information for your 2 light aircraft operating north of the field, indicating 500 feet traffic.
992, Birmingham, runway 33. Yeah, it's almost from 15, it's pretty much direct across that. 2000 above here. That should hopefully. No, still getting the steep descent after Grove messages. We'll change that shortly.
4 Sierra Bravo, nothing further, 39, Unicom 122.8, enjoy the rest of your flight, bye bye.
122.8, and thanks a lot for the ATC. Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, good luck.
No worries, see ya. Ryanair.
Perfect, over to Unicom. Right, 33, 10 mile ring. Cloud was broken at 1900, so we can go away with 4 miles. We are at 35,000 feet, so that's 105 miles for top of descent, which is coming up here. So, Habitat Airports, Birmingham. Echo Golf Bravo Bravo. Fixie 1 Bravo. ILS 33. And airport charts. Parking stands. Lovely. So, Fixie 1 Bravo, RNAV 1 required, which we have. Descent planning, flight level 130 by Biffin, 130 set. This arrival, guys, it's just very uneconomical. It gets you very low very early. It's because of the airspace around here. A lot of airways transiting here, departures from a lot of airports around here as well. So you get very low early, and then you just cruise in at 130 for ages, and then you get to 70 at Grove. Prior to Grove, you get vectors from Birmingham approach, and if there's no ATC, what we'll do is after Grove itself position onto either 3-3 or most likely 3-3 or 1-5 if that wind slightly shifts a little bit more to the south. So that is all good. Fixie Biffin, 28 miles, and then 70 at Grove. So I'm just going to change the transition level here slightly. 7.5. That give us 70 at Grove on the legs page. Give us a second to update. It should do. That should change to 70 now. Anyway, we'll imagine that says 70. So after Grove, you'd get vectors. So all I'm going to do is sort of build something in the FMC to sort of allow for vectors here. So if we go here to the plan page, biff in. We're not going to do this, obviously, because it's more of it's about 130-degree intercept. So what we're going to do is go from Grove, is just create a waypoint about here for vectors. So if we do Centerfix 33, there we are, and we'll put 240 at about 4 miles. So 4 Centerfix, there we go, and then Centerfix 33. Execute. I built something there. I've just adjusted the approach slightly just to allow it to build a little bit more of an accurate path. It's quite a tight, that's onto a 6-mile final, so it's quite conservative. And you'll notice it will sort of stop moaning at me about the Grove restriction now because I've given it a few extra track miles. If that Grove restriction wasn't there, it would want us to be at 6,000 feet. So that Grove restriction, there we are, steep descent after Grove is still there. Nothing we could do about it because that is the restriction. We just then have to work out how to lose that extra 1,000 feet, delayed vector, whatever. But you could easily recover that if you're at 210 knots, just bring the flaps out early. So that's it. Grove arrival, vectors, ILS 33, frequencies 110.1. Once, twice. Double check the FMS if you're not sure what the frequency is. There it is, set 3 times. Course is 326. Set there, set here, and also you can double check in the FMS if you wish. 326 set 3 times. Minimums now 528, 200 feet AGR, RVR needed 550 meters, so 528 feet coming up now. Many miles, Birmingham approach tower line, superb. 528 feet set. Pappy's just on the left hand side, so we were discussing earlier how why are they on both sides, or why do we have Pappy's both sides or just one side? Don't really know, but we always usually have Pappy's on at least one side. Not all airports though. Vectors, onto the approach, frequencies, courses, minimums are set. There is the NDB 406, which we might as well tune. Standby RMI. Platform 2,000 feet to intercept at 5.1 miles. I said 2,000, Foxtrot India 33 at 5 miles, and then down we go onto the ILS 3 degrees. Missed approach. Climb straight ahead 3,000 feet then as directed. Perfect. MSA, no real terrain issues, 2,500. Any problems will maintain 3,000 feet. Look at the performance. So that is fuel weight balance, landing performance. Fuel start again. Fuel arriving with 3.7. We needed 2 something to 2.1 to divert to Manchester, so at least 30 minutes. There we are. Reset MCP altitude. So we'll just set no ATC at the moment, so we'll just go down to 70, which is the Grove restriction. VNAV will descend for us. 300 kilos to burn. Landing weight's going to be 59.4. So 59.4. Runway 33, 2.5. Let's go wet because that's conservative. Might have been recently raining here. Not 100% sure. 5 degrees. Wind is 250. So with wind, you always go worst case. So it is gusting 23, but for headwind component, it's going to be 250, 13. So it's 3 knot headwind, 13 knot cross. That's with the least wind. Temperature 5, 992. Let's try flat 30 again. Versus, there we are. Again, flat 30 order break 3 seems sufficient. We can try to vacate at Bravo, which is where you want to vacate when landing on 3-3. And then Alpha on stand. Flat 40, order break 3. And we can go idle reverse, last flight of the day. There we are. We then did the descent checklist, and we're already descending into Birmingham. About to join the Fixie arrival in about 10 minutes time. Excellent. James, loving the new cloud mod on Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, so much better than default. I haven't even heard of that mod. Commander Jenna for 10 seconds of relaxation and time to start setting up for landing. Yeah, these days we do just, you know, short sectors, flights less than 45 minutes or an hour or so. Quite intensive because the turnarounds, we have quite short turnarounds sometimes. You don't get a chance to relax. Usually our time to relax is on the flights, and on short sectors like this quite limited. Yeah, I enjoy it because you get a bit more handling as long as the weather's not a storm like Storm Barra. Hello, Anderson Galloway, hope you're doing well. Andy was striking because the boss fired me for his error. Back angle 25. Not loud. There's Orbex True Earth, looks really good at night as well. I have to say, the FPS, I've no issues now. I used to have loads of issues with OpenGL. I don't know, what's changed. Anyway, it's all quiet now, everyone would leave. Yeah, we had, what was it on the peak there? When we were approaching in Shannon, we had, I think it was 700 people watching. But obviously not as exciting, this approach. They'll come back on the approach as well. Mason, they have reported wind shear at Birmingham, if you're unaware. Ooh, interesting. Don't know if that's something to do with the sim, but yeah, wind shear escape manoeuvre. So if we get a two-tone siren, and it says wind shear, we'll immediately disconnect the autopilot, push toga, full power, firewall it basically, then we disconnect the auto throttle, we'll simultaneously roll wings level, pitch up to initially 15 degrees and follow the flight directors, stoner speed brakes, don't change the configuration gear flaps until clear of wind shear, and then we'll execute the Mr. Brakes from there. Harris, full flap landing. Nope, flap 30 is the default flap setting. Flap 40 on shorter runways. Quite windy as well. The aircraft behaves a little bit better with flap 30 and crosswinds, but you can use flap 40 if needed. The other 400 people are grabbing sick bags. Absolutely. Amazing. 500 likes on the stream though, guys. Thank you very much for that. Really, that's mega. Didi, have you had to execute the wind shear escape manoeuvre? Not one caused by the warning, but I have done a wind shear escape manoeuvre from wind shear. Might not trigger the warning, so you have to recognise wind shear if it's there, and execute the wind shear escape manoeuvre accordingly. But the wind shear warning system from the EGBB is extremely accurate. You have two. You have predictive wind shear, which is from the weather radar, and reactive wind shear, which is from the EGBB, which notices something unusual, high closure rate, thrust lever position, lots of different factors. And wind shear's nasty, guys. Wind shear, when you execute the wind shear manoeuvre, you might have full power, and following the flight directives, the aircraft is barely climbing. In some cases, if it's particularly strong, the aircraft might be descending still slightly, and that's with full power. And you've seen this aircraft with full power, typical gross weights, the aircraft will climb at 6,000 feet per minute happily. So wind shear, significant downdraft. The aircraft is full power is still not climbing away quickly. So yeah, pretty nasty. You've got to react very quickly to wind shear. Hashtag bring back Andy. Domino Mosi, I just noticed the waypoint. American 5-4, route direct TKS. Where? There you go, that's V1 simulations. That's what we always hear. So funny. Oh, Sharma, great PC specs. How much does that cost? The PC that I'm getting from Chill Blast to have it outfitted was about 2,500. No discount either. But I did. Well, I was going to get a custom wrap, but we couldn't just make. I couldn't make my mind up on what I wanted, so I'm not using one anymore. Thank you very much, Gecko and Lime, for the €10. That's very kind of you. You didn't even say anything. Appreciate it, buddy, and appreciate the gesture. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. Birmingham approach. Have just called me. We'll check in. Birmingham approach. Good evening. Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. Sending flight level 70 inbound to Dobbin for the Fixie 3 Bravo. Very early for approach.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. Birmingham radar. Very good evening. Information is Delta landing runway 33 with no delay. Reports of wind shear at 1,500 feet on the approach. Descend flight level 130.
As copied, expecting runway 33, send flight level 130, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo.
Alpaca 575, turn left, heading
so Birmingham approach, yeah, approach, you would pick up until within sort of, 30 miles of the airport, so very early, but obviously we'll take it.
Airport ticket to Golf, turn right, heading 150 degrees. Right 150 degrees, back to
See what picking you down.
Birmingham radar, easy 824 Charlie is on the looking 1 mic departure and is passing.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Tootin.
Easy 834 Charlie, Birmingham radar, good evening, climb now, flight level 80.
PJ managed making a DIY yoke fix, very cool. Rushy flew from Malaga, Copenhagen, 1.5 hours into flight, got super bumpy, which I'm guessing was due to this storm over the UK, potentially.
Nothing further, 1
So I will make the 130 restriction at Biffin.
34 Charlie, fly radar heading 360 degrees.
Fly 360 degrees.
It's Birmingham, mate. Last time he went to the wrong stand, would have to picket all of them. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, my stream to correct stand ratio is pretty poor. 1 in 3. I think I get the wrong stand.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, report indicated airspeed.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, 284 knots.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, speed 280 knots or greater.
280 knots or greater, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. So in that case, we'll stick with the planned speed. We always fly our econ speeds unless asked by ATC. What's 280 or greater? Based off cost index 30. That's 284 knots.
230 knots.
+1 for the coast route of V1. Oh, I'm so bad. The problem is, I've spoken to V1 about doing something in November, and it's quite hard because we both live in different time zones. It's just sitting down and getting it organised. I have quite a lot of limited free time at the moment, so obviously when I do get free time I'm trying to stream stuff like ZIBO MOD or whatever, and that's going to be the case all the way through to next year because of the new roster I'm on at work. I'm sort of working most weekends now, with less days off. So, and there's a lot of flying. There's a lot more flying than anyone anticipated, so very limited. I promise you I'll do something with V1 soon. Anyone doesn't know, guys, V1 Sim's Airbus captain for a US airline. Just doing exactly what I do. Go check him out. Did I cycle the bells? Don't think I did. About 15 minutes to go. But obviously this restriction at 130 at Biffin is keeping us low. VNAV's doing a really good job though today in the mod, keeping us all where we need to be.
Bravo, turn right heading 070 degrees, radar vectors for an ILS approach.
Right heading 070 degrees, vectors, ILS 33, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. That's a very early vector and heading. He's well outside of his area of responsibility, but looks like we're going to get vectors straight away, but we'll take it. So that Biffin restriction and the Grove restriction is no longer applicable. So what I'm going to do now is just route direct to that waypoint I made. There we go.
Bravo, descend to flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. So 80 coming up. Set, level change. 2812. Yeah, profile's showing us a little high. It's not too far off to be fair. Keep a close eye on it. Need to do a stream Cookie. Yeah, Cookie, need to do something on Discord with him with a shared cockpit. He's always offered that. Just getting around to organising it. I've got so much to plan at the moment as well for the members. Got the group flight not this weekend, the following weekend, we've got a race on a Saturday course, so we're doing on Saturday, which I'm hoping to do if I'm not called off standby. And all the others, I've got to do Christmas shopping, guys. I've got to go out and do Christmas shopping. I hate Christmas shopping. Q, very good question. What if it gives direct to Grove now? Excellent question. So you've got to be a bit careful when updating. Why is it? I think VNAV's going a bit of a wobbly here because I think it still thinks we're level at 130 maybe. Great question. If that's the case, we just simply go departure arrivals, reselect the arrival, fix C3 Bravo, execute, and then route direct to Grove that way. So be careful when updating. Might be a little bit early at certain points. Might bring the speed back to 250 now. Do the post-cruise checks. Fuel, 4 pumps, lights, logos on, angle of banks 25 degrees, pressurization 3.3 set, seatbelts on, recall. There we are, post-cruise checks complete.
Sierra Bravo, speed 250 knots or greater.
Reducing 250 knots, out back and forth, Sierra Bravo. Say 250 or greater. We'll just do 250 below 100.
Airport 22 Golf, turn right 5 degrees, heading 170.
So I should make a new waypoint here, so I'm going to go CF33. And let's just have a look at the chart. Moves to Shannon here.
Sierra Bravo, turn right, heading 080 degrees, descend to flight level 70.
Right, heading 080 degrees, descend flight level 70, back and forth, Sierra Bravo. So what we're going to do here, CF33, 180, about 5. That's better. Execute. A little more like what we're going to get later. Yeah, online shopping, that's what I'm going to do, Andy, is just Amazon. There's other large retailers online available. And get my list, tick it off, make sure I'm at home, and they get delivered. It's just oh, it's really hard. I always struggle to pick gifts for people. Beautiful evening though in Birmingham. Now the wind's died off a little bit, even though there's wind shear reported.
Sierra Bravo, speed 210 knots or greater.
210 knots or greater, back and forth Sierra Bravo. So there's some unusual instructions, 210 or greater. I mean, well, technically I do 250 still, but I think he wants me to do 210 knots. Just bring the speed back, so I'm getting close to a detail point anyway. A little bit high, but not too much. 20, 40, 60, yeah. Just a bit of speed brake, just to slow down, and then we'll get further descent shortly as well. That is true, Paul. Guys, if you just tuned in, welcome back. We're on our return sector to Birmingham. We'll be touching down in less than 10 minutes. Just coming back from Shannon. This is where we started our day. We had a go around in Shannon due to a pilot error. And second approach was great. Max crosswind approaching 25 knot crosswind here. Quite windy in Birmingham. Good thing to point out actually here. Look at this tailwind. 49 knots. Even though I'm doing 210 knots, look at the ground speed 280. Can actually catch you out if you keep a little bit too much speed on, say 230 or 240 knots when you're turning base, because your ground speed could be about 280 knots. So when you've got a strong tailwind like that, you've got to try and anticipate it. I'll back and forth Sierra Bravo, request further descent.
Back and forth Sierra Bravo, 20 track miles, descend to altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 902 hectopascals.
Descend 6,000 feet, QNH 902 hectopascals. Back and forth Sierra Bravo. So that's set 992. Look at that huge jump from the pressure. 6,800 for 6,000 feet, and the standby altimeter is set a little bit high, but we're in a position where we can straight away select flaps if needed, if we get to turn get a turn inbound, but it's looking good. Post checks then. We should.
Sierra Bravo, turn left heading 360 degrees, descend to altitude 4,000 feet.
Left heading 360 degrees, descend 4,000 feet. Now back and forth Sierra Bravo. I've got the wrong idents here at the moment. I think that's just. Should have India Bravo Mike. That might be the other runway. Maybe it'll go around there, but that's the incorrect. There we are, India Bravo Mike. It's actually worked out quite nicely, that vector. 16 miles.
Sierra Bravo, speed 180 knots or greater.
180 or greater, Alpaca 4, Sierra Bravo. Is he meant to be saying 180 or less? I think he's meant to be saying 180 or less. Unless I'm missing something. I've never heard or greater at this stage. Right, speed check, flap 1. Speed brake to help it slow down and go down as well. And flap 2. Flap 2 is quite useful if you want to do 180 knots. Look at the wind still, 48 knots.
Descent to altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 9092 hectopascals.
Not been cleared approach yet.
Packer 40 Bravo, when localised or established, runway 33, descent flight path.
What's established on the localised descent with the glide out Packer for Sierra Bravo. So clear approach full lock. So I can't go below 4,000 feet until established on the ILS. That glide slip's coming in quite nicely.
Speed 180 knots, so advantage is off.
Engine anti-ice coming on. Oh, it's already on. Oops. Right.
Approach, very good
1
evening,
dot.
Alpaca 296,
Approach.
inbound, Creevy, descending from flight level 170. Alpaca 296, Birmingham radar, good evening, information is Echo, landing runway tree, descent, flight level
speed.
90, level by chase. Information Echo is copied, landing runway 33, descent flight level 90 to be level by chase, Alpaca 296. Airport 22 Golf, turn left, heading 360 degrees, descent to altitude 4,000 feet.
So we'll just have to might just have to wait until we get localised established before we can descend further on the glide. Once we're established on the localiser, I can set this to 1,400 feet. Localiser, live localiser capture.
Flight level 70, direct to Oscott.
Out quiet, so if that happens, just go 3,000 level change, or elevation plus 1,000 feet. So that's 350, so 1,400. So intercepting the glide slope from above, so pre-procedure, flat 5.
Stop descent flight level 80, can you just repeat the heading for me?
Heading 085.
Heading 085, I'll pack a 7 kilos, Sierra, thanks.
And glide slope capture, missed approach altitude, 3,000 feet.
Speed 160 knots until 40 ME.
160 knots until 40 ME.
Sierra Bravo, speed 160 knots until 40 ME.
160 till 40 ME, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. So 163, there we go, that's fine. There we are. There's the blinking order throttle light, that means the order throttles are idle but it's not slowing down for you.
2500.
Tower frequency 118.3, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, bye.
And Echo.
Ooh.
After the 77 is passed,
I thought I'd selected that, I have done now. Birmingham Tower, good evening, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, established ILS 33, 6 miles.
Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo, Birmingham Tower, hello, wind is 250 degrees at 12 knots, gusting 22. Runway 33, clear to land, caution, wind shear, loss of 10 knots at 1,500 feet.
Array 33 good land, copy the wind shear, Alpaca 4 Sierra Bravo. So there's a loss of 10 knots, so you always want positive, not negative. That'd be quite nasty, so you just got to make sure you make a thrust adjustment. That was reported at 1,000 feet. So keep a look on it. It looks pretty stable here. Again, in these conditions, I'd expect the speed to be jumping up a little bit more up and down.
Lufthansa 4564.
Echo 1, roger that.
Oh yes, you see my new merch. Yeah, I have the official flight deck to sim pint glass and crew bag. Yes, I had, honestly, it was ridiculous how expensive it is, but I even lowered it to as much as I could, but it's still there, so yeah, I put it. But yeah, if you do get it, it does support myself, so feel free to do so. It starts with just continuous recall check, so we can take the engine anti-ice off now. Speed brake arm, green light, landing gear down 3 green, order brake is set to 3, flap 30. All those gusts around us, give it a good increment, there we are, plus a few knots. So flaps, we've got
1,000.
30,
feet stabilized.
30, green lights, landing lights, they are, we're cleared to land, checklist is complete. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Nice crosswind again. Disconnecting autopilot, disconnecting auto throttle. I always forget the rate. Is that the M42? It's nicely modelled there. little bit of wind shear, but again, the wind speed changes are very slow, a little bit low there. The flight directors might need some tweaking by the mod. I've noticed that sometimes if you follow them exactly, it always keep you right on the ILS. And the real aircraft, just watch my speed, they're pretty good. Keep you on this glide slope. I forgot to mute
40,
it.
30.
Oh gosh,
20,
oh, don't be outrageous.
10.
Oh, thanks, Kieran. What's he going to say?
You are overpowered.
Idiot. Thanks, bud. Continue.
4564 at Echo 1 contact Birmingham radar 123
Check.
975 bye.
Contact on holding short 123
Close. Hold the altitudes.
123
Get a butter for you today. Oh, a little bit of a balloon. It's down slope as well, this runway. Oh my god. Oh, that was very long. Right, speed breaks up. I would have probably got a long landing from RAS in real life and going around. What's 11 seconds? That was naughty. Right, speed breaks up, reverses, 100 knots. It was a combination of downslope, manual braking, 60. Combination of downslope and X-planes floating there. Good use of balloon emojis there, Delete. That was outrageously bad. Yeah, that was a go around, guys. Speed brakes stowed, reverses cancelled. That's got to be a record float, I think. That was very bad.
Alpha 4 Sierra Bravo, welcome to Birmingham. Taxi stand 3 via Alpha Delta and Yankee.
Stand 3 via Alpha Delta and Yankee. Alpha 4 Sierra Bravo. Cheers. Cue the excuses. Oh, I always got excuses.
Airborne 622 Golf, wind is 250 degrees.
Excellent, excellent. We're here. A lovely flight. Thanks, Kieran, for the £2. I completely forgot to mute the thing. There we are. There's been a lovely 2 flights there. That was a float. We did get the butter. That's all in the sim pilot's career. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter if you use half the runway to achieve it. A butter, you've achieved everything you've ever wanted. Javier, was it legal? No, I was outside the touchdown zone there. That was very long. Probably used about 1,100 meters in that float. About a third of the runway, maybe. Yeah, not good. Not good. I've already done a go around though. Alpaca Airways.
Birmingham Tower's closing. Contact Birmingham radar 123
with 80. What was I going to say? With floating like that, yeah, you got to be in the touchdown zone. I mean, 11 seconds. That is way too long. But Alpaca Airways, yeah, we only go around once a day. If you've done one, you're not allowed to do it again. I should do that later. Right, let's try and find my stand. Bit of taxi and music as well for you. There we go. So taxi clearance was Alpha Delta Yankee. Alpha Delta Yankee for stand 3. I can't get it wrong here. Just keep going in a straight line until I can no longer go in a straight line. I better keep the map open though. Perfect. So it's the second left here. Butter or end of runway? Our flight director's office. A TDG scenery. Very nice replication of Birmingham. There we are. I think we're all good here. Strobes to steady. Cool. There we are, Delta.
50,
So
40,
cleared
30,
Alpha Delta,
20,
so second
10.
right. There's Echo, otherwise on the right. Thank you very much, Andy, for the £5.
Ladies and gentlemen, the extra cost of the ticket will be explained now as we embark upon flight deck to Sim Airport Tours. Sorry, it's stuck.
Thank you very much, Andy, for your £5. Very kind of you. Glad you enjoyed the content still and your time as a member. Appreciate it, buddy. Yes, the flight deck to Sim Airport Tours open from 8 PM till 5 AM. Torches are provided. Thank you very much. Very kind, Andy. Cheers. Outrageous. There we are. Alpha onto Delta. And then it'll be stand 3 coming up. keep you started up nice and early. I think in Birmingham they usually keep you on echo until you turn onto the apron. Octavio, when was the last time you did go around in real life? Oh, I've done one as a captain, and it was over 2 years ago now. It was in Italy, in Rome, because the runway was actually contaminated. So, yeah, that was some time ago. As a first officer, a few, 3 or 4. There we go. Microsoft Sam pronounced that perfectly, absolutely. Mega. Well, it's sort of end of an era on the channel really, because this might be the last time this PC streams, and the performance is excellent. I didn't even need a new PC. Now, to be fair, when I'm flying things like the FlyJSim-8, which is a little bit more FPS intensive, I should have no issues in the future with that. So I'm really looking forward to getting it, guys. But this Chill Blast PC has been really good. It's done me so well. Look, I didn't get lost. Bonus. Coke
40,
advert there.
30.
Oh, there are other
20,
beverages available. Tom
10.
Pascoe, thank you very much as well for the $10. Very kind of you, sir. Stand 3.
Thanks for a remarkable stream, Cap.
Oh, cheers.
Always a pleasure when I can attend one.
Thank you.
Maybe one day I'll get the bugs out of my X-Plane and can fly the ZIBO again.
Oh, thank you very much, Tom Pascoe, for the $3. Glad you enjoyed it. It's great to hear, and glad you could watch it live. And we've got a lot of guys from the US here, and obviously it's early afternoon or late morning for most of you. And I always appreciate that when you take your busy lives and schedules out to come watch the stream. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for your continued support, Tom. Very kind. Right, APU's on the bus. Lights are off. Boeing 738. There's a spy on his headset. Swissport all waiting. That says stop. There we are. Parking brake is set. 2 blues, 1 red. Engine stand. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Birmingham International. Bit early. Wait until 20% N2 before you turn it off, but a lot of people start moaning at me for leaving it on. There we are. Shutdown. Flow is complete. That was epic. Really great stream. Ah. Ideally, some of us in the US are multitasking work and this stream. Yeah, that is true. Get back to work. Oh dear, that was mega. That approach into Shannon, wow. That was crazy. I'm genuinely so mad with myself about the order throttle, but I see how the error was made. It was so well spotted by HMS Daring, I think it was. Because the autopilot tripped, I think I just knocked the order throttle with my arm, which tripped the autopilot. And then we got a radio call, and then there you go. I was in the mindset, because in the 737 you disconnect the auto throttle first, then the autopilot afterwards. And I had it in my mindset that I was hand flying through the entire approach. And I don't know if you look back, you'll see me making the thrust adjustments, trying to keep the speed in control. It's the auto throttle the whole time. And then during the flare, obviously the auto throttle's adding thrust, and you add thrust to this aircraft. The already exasperated ability of the aircraft to float will be even more so if you're producing thrust. So yeah, crazy. But we did the right thing. We flew the missed approach. Very happy with the second approach to Shannon landing. That was good. Coming back here, yeah, nice approach to Birmingham. Massive float on landing. I think that's going to be one of the longest floats I've ever done. Way beyond what would have been acceptable. I should have gone around, but yeah, and I must apologise, because I always say I do things as per operator's SOPs. But it's been a long stream, and I just wanted to get on the deck because I'm hungry. It's partly true, but I should have got around. There we go. Awesome. So we'll wrap it up there. I'll have a look at some of the comments here on the approach. Lots of butter emojis, lots of balloon emojis. But good question there. Do you need to go around if you get a RAS long landing? Yes, you do, Aaron Hastings, unless you've already touched down and selected reverse thrust. But a long landing is a mandatory go around at my operator. P. White, great stream. I'm off to change my trousers. Lovely. Fantastic evening. See you next time. Bye. Thanks, Pete. Stephen, weather always makes for an interesting flight. Looking forward to a lovely trip from Manchester to Copenhagen for a new year. De-icer at the ready yet. It's the time of year. Robert, no jokes of Max Verstappen anymore. Okay, yeah, all done. And I cannot wait to watch that race on Sunday. I'm on standby. I just hope I don't get called, really. It'll be a nightmare if I do. Robin, I think there are some 737s that retard the throttles at 20 feet, but I could be wrong. That's when completing an auto land. When the system's armed, it'll close the thrust levers at 27 feet for you. Cool, that's it. Thank you very much for subscribing, whoever that was. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the latest content as well. Don't forget to like the video too. But I'm probably going to repeat myself now when I do that, because I always say the same stuff when I end the stream. Right, let's turn down the music here and cue the funky replay music. There we are. Yeah, OpenGL and X-Plane, really interesting. I'm going to stick to it because I really love the effects and the FPS. Getting here 30. It's been fine running the stream as well. So yeah, just going to stick with OpenGL, I think. Right, let's pop the aircraft on final and see what went wrong. So let's play it. Crank up the volume. Turn this down so you can hear my commentary. That sound is so epic. So, it's actually completely flat in the sim. But there we are, there's the check. Then I closed it. And because I was trying to butter it for you guys, look, I was just checked maybe a little bit too high. I'm drifting downwind. And then I actually touched down and then bounced. So because we had that crosswind, look what happens. So I held the crab, but because I started using a bit of rudder to decrab here, watch what happens to the crosswind. I'm just starting to drift downwind. So I start making a correction into the runway, and then look, because the runway is dry, as soon as you touch down, it lands there. It's so cool, X-Plane, the landing physics, very realistic. Apart from the ground effects, that just needs to be toned down a little bit. Why am I in this view? I never do that view. Tower view. Let's do that one. No, that's the one I was looking for. Float, float, float. So, must be touched down by these white boxes here. These ones here, look, there. Oh, I was just outside the touchdown zone. Yeah, so just do it in slow-mo. There you go. Must have touched down by here. Oh, no, there's the last one there. Oh, there's actually another one here. I think I was still floating, so I'm still in slow motion here. Still in slow motion. I must be down by this point here. I'm still flying. Oh, that was so bad. There we are. I was just outside, but yeah, that's so long. And just to show you, there we are. I touched down about here. Look how much runway I used. About half. Absolutely crazy. HMS Derek, don't beat yourself up about the startle factor single crew ATC weather streaming. You're doing extremely well. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. I set myself very high standards when streaming, though, to make sure it's as realistic as possible. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the stream as ever. It's been a really good fun flight. The ZIBO mod has behaved really well today. This is the latest public version, which is, made a note of it, 351.6, so I definitely recommend grabbing that for your ZIBO needs, let's say, at X-Plane 11. Awesome. So guys, as ever, thank you very much for taking part and watching. To everyone that donated, it was crazy at one point. It was very generous of all you, for all the F1 drivers that came in. Thanks as well. Good luck on Saturday, Sunday. But no, I really appreciate the generosity. Don't ever feel like you need to donate, just enjoy the show. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to stay up to date with the contents. As ever, members, so many of you here this evening, thank you so much for your continued support. glad you're still here and enjoying the content as ever. If you have any queries or improvements you'd like to suggest for the channel, especially in the Discord, let me know as well. As ever, stay safe, and hopefully next time I'll be streaming with my new PC. I'm on standby this weekend, so maybe something for you on Saturday or Sunday, but not during the F1 race, of course. Guys, stay safe as ever, and I'll see you all again very soon. Good night from me.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10.
Great stream once again. Thanks as always.